Phins Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Y'all, please, please, please forgive me for being late to the stream about 20 minutes. I've been here the entire time. It looks like I'm having some technical difficulties with my camera. I basically got to order another plug-in battery. So I had to, because it's the one that I have isn't working. So I had to unplug it and put the regular battery in. So honestly, I don't know how long that regular battery will last. It is fully charged, but we will find out tonight. All right. So if at any point the stream cuts out, you know why. All right. Hopefully, Amazon can send me one ASAP so I don't have to worry about that again. Finsanity, whenever you get a chance, if you can go ahead and private chat me real quick so I can send you a link. Same thing with you, Mr. Ballgame, and EM Dolphin. If you're in the building, I don't know if you are yet, but go ahead and send me a private mess chat right here in the chat section. All right. Well, actually, is there one already on it? Okay. Let me see. One moment. Let me see if I can bring you all in on a private chat real quick. And thanks for y'all patience. Y'all give me one moment. I hate feeling like I'm behind because of the technical difficulty. Let me see. Give me a second. All right, chat. All right. Let me put this in here. All right. There you go, Finsanity, EM Dolphin, and Mr. Ballgame. The link is in the comment section below. What's up, JH? Again, y'all forgive me. I'm sorry I'm so late, man. Something's going on with my battery and my camera. It's really aggravating. But that's all right. We're going to still get started. We're not going to let anybody steal our joy. We are still going to get started. We're going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy the show regardless. And we're going to get rolling, baby. So tonight we are going to be doing our first panel conversation. I have a lot of questions to ask our panel, see what their thoughts are on several topics in regards to the Miami Dolphins and the NFL in general, and maybe even a little college football talk. But we're going to dive into it, and we're going to bring each individual on one by one. First and foremost, we have Finsanity 5 in the building. I caught you taking the sip. Oh, man. I caught her taking a sip, y'all.
Man, listen, T-Day.
What's up?
You know, I've been in the chat with these guys. They have some amazing questions. Logan has a personal question for you.
Personal
question. I told him I would handle this since he stayed in and waited the whole time. So while we're waiting for everybody else, you can address this. He wants to know that since I guess you had opinions on Sam, I think it was Sam, Balaj, and a couple other players. He wants to know what makes you think you're going to be right about Tua, since I guess your talent evaluation hasn't been spot on so far.
Well, that's a loaded question. I want you to hold on to that question real quick. Because it is a loaded question. Before we even get into it, shout out to Mr. Ballgame in the building. I see the fresh and clean hat. Don't be trying to show us up, man. Don't be trying to show. Man, hold on. He done went off on me, man. You know that's unacceptable. That my son, man. Let me grab me one off the wall. Don't try me like that, man. Let me show him what time it is. Don't be coming for me like that. Don't be coming for me, man.
I'm just saying, man.
What's up with you, man?
Oh man, loving life, baby. Slow motion.
Awesome.
You know,
good stuff, man.
Doing the Lord's work, man.
There you go. That's what it's all about, man. And not being ashamed to tell other people that you are. That's right, baby.
Exactly.
But listen, guys, I was waiting on EM Dolphin, but it doesn't look like he's checked in yet. So whenever he gets here, we'll go ahead and pick off. But before we even get started on the panel questions, I want to address the question that Finsanity had that someone asked. You can let me know who asked and what was the question one more time.
Logan.
All right,
Logan in the chat. Logan Hampton. There we go.
So what Logan talking about?
He wants to know, basically, since your player evaluation has not been spot on so far, what makes you so sure you're going to be correct about Tua?
First of all, when he says my player evaluation hasn't been spot on so far, can he elaborate and tell me who he's referring to?
I think he said Sam. I think he said Balaj. He mentioned a couple other players, but that was like way back in the chat, like way back.
Well, in regards to Sam Egwavon, I'm not sure what he means by my evaluation hasn't been on so far. We had big high hopes for Sam. At the end of the day, we had never seen him in real game time playing mode, and as far as NFL game time. I also another thing to Logan. It's one thing whenever I'm going on a rant on a live stream and I'm saying, "Oh, Sam is going to be a future Hall of Famer" or something, which I never said, but I say something like that. And I qualify it later on saying we really don't know what he's going to be, but at the end of the day, we do see a lot of flashes and upsides. So I think a lot of the player evaluations where people feel like I'm off, they never hear every single stream that I make, my full conclusion on certain players and things of that nature. As far as Balaj, I've been very disappointed in Balaj, but I feel like I haven't been wrong about Balaj. At the end of the day, the running game just hasn't been existent at all, for the given fact that we haven't opened up holes other than last game, and they didn't use him in that capacity much, outside of the fact that he's basically have been in past situations and he flopped on that, which is taking a lot of his carries away. So at the end of the day, it's still a long season, a lot of evaluation to go. But in regards to Tua, I was going to save this to later, and I'm still going to save it to later, but I'll elaborate. Tua, what makes me think I'm not going to be wrong about Tua? First and foremost, I never claimed to try to be right or wrong about Tua. I've been very neutral on Tua. I said this man might end up being the greatest quarterback of all time. But the fact remains, we don't know. And if I had to choose, I'm going to chase number one overall if we had the opportunity, way ahead of Tua. So again, I think it's a lot of people that take my words out of context and they hear what they want to hear to write their own narrative. That's just my take. All right, that's my take. All right, Phins, hopefully that answered that. Hopefully that answered Logan's question. I don't know.
I think, listen, man.
What's up?
I think when these guys hear you talking about different players and this, that, and the other, they don't take into consideration that a lot of this is just based off of what we see in terms of what's presented to us in the parameters that we're given to look at these players. But look, in football, they know right. They should know right off the bat that a running back, his success is all predicated off of the guys up front for him. And with the fact that we are still working, we're still developing this line, Drake did a little better, but those guys are going to struggle until the continuity up front gets right. Look at what Zeke Elliott, the highest paid running back in the league, had the highest average over the course of the last 3 seasons at this point. But look what he did against the Saints. What did he get? 2 point. What is like? Not even 2 yards.
2.2 yards per carry, only about 32 yards in the entire game on 18 carries, might I add.
Exactly, and he's running behind not arguably the best offensive line ever assembled. There's 3 Hall of Famers on that line right now.
3 first round.
So when you take in and look at the entire picture, people have to remember that your opinion about these guys and your analysis of them is accurate because we're doing it based off of what we've seen up to this point. But there's other factors that go into play as well. So I think guys swing more towards trying to make you wrong as opposed to listening to what you're saying about the player and looking at the player objectively. You know, sometimes they gotta take the fan goggles off and really look at the player for what we really need the player to do in our system. And the fact, a lot of them don't do that. They just want to prove you wrong. And I don't know who the Logan guy is. I like his question, but it seemed to me like it was more based on the fact that he was happy about the fact that you made a statement and that maybe your statement hasn't come to fruition. You know, and come on, man. Everybody got an opinion. Your opinion is just as valuable as anybody else's. But at the end of the day, it's still based off of the metrics that are presented.
And even the answer that I've been given could change. Yes. It could change, you know?
Well, I think you've been pretty transparent. I think you've been pretty transparent about the fact that when you're wrong about something, you come back and you say, "No, I was wrong," but my opinion, and that's what that's what anybody that's evaluating other people would do. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're all giving our opinion. I coach the game, but I don't coach any of the guys that are playing on Sundays. But I do know what to look for and things that I think are intangibles that a guy has to have to sustain himself on the field. And right now, we got a bunch of young guys who weren't limelight guys, didn't have all of the glitz and glamour of being the guy out here going against other teams, number ones. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, we got a learning curve right now. So it is what it is.
A bigger learning curve than most, man.
Yeah,
man, I'm excited. I'm excited tonight, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. We're gonna be live for another 2 hours, maybe. I'm
waiting on EM Dolphin.
You hey, he running. He running from you. That's what it is.
He better have his track shoes on.
No. I don't know if you were in the chat earlier, but you know what he running from? Sitting there gonna make a comment on the live stream earlier. He made a comment on the live stream earlier. I said, tell me what flaw the Alabama offense has that Tua makes up for.
I heard that.
He had listening to say the offensive line. Oh my God!
I'm so geeked up and ready for that because I don't know where he pulled that from, but come on, bro. Come on back down. What you got going on in your daily regimen? You might want to lay off of that a little bit.
You know what happened? Clemson blitzed on like 90% of the plays last year in the national championship. So now he takes that one game and says the offensive line was a big concern for them. Well, obviously, if you have 5 to block and they're sending like 8, well, of course you're going to get hit a lot. Like that's simple math. But you know what's crazy to me is that people don't process. And you made a good point about this earlier, TD. The SEC is not the SEC of old. It's not the same. And when Clemson started their rise to the top, all those 5-star players that would line up and wait to go play at Alabama decided, you know what? Dabo Swinney got something nice going on over here at Clemson. Maybe I'll change my commit to go somewhere else. So when in LSU still is a factor, Auburn still is a factor, but on the other side, you still got Florida and Georgia, right? So there are teams that can player for player match up with Alabama. There aren't a lot, but there's quite a few. But when you're talking about a team that really gets their pick of whatever guys are out there every year coming out as seniors, I don't know where he can come up with that thing saying that offensive line is not the top line because, come on, man. All those guys are 5-star athletes. You can look it up on Rivals.com and pull up their names because it still holds their information for 3 to 5 years. All those guys were at least 4-star and above. So there's no excuse. That whole flaw thing, he ain't got how you got flaws on the O-line when you stand about there for 4.5 seconds?
Man, he lost.
Then you move to the left a little bit. Then you move to the right a little bit, and you still got time to throw a bomb down the field because your wide receiver running free because he runs a 4.36 40.
Exactly.
He split the safeties. Come on, man.
Man, listen. I think that has something to do with why he's not here yet. All right.
Yeah.
I think that has something. He said, I can't show up. I'll do it next week. Hopefully they'll forget about my comment.
You got to be a man about this one and come on and stand in front of the jury on that one because I don't know where he got that from. Now, I said the last time I was on here with y'all that he got a man crush on Tua. And everything this guy's talking about is Tua. But I don't think he's taking into consideration who this kid is playing with and who they're playing against. All that stuff matters, man. I don't mean, I'm 47 years old, and I think I can go out there and at least throw a couple slants here and there behind that O-line.
Exactly. But a lot of people don't take that into consideration. They don't care about who you're playing with. They just think you're supposed to be the reason that the job gets done. You know, they don't care that Patrick Mahomes has a good team around him. They don't care that Brady has a good team around him. Because in the luxury that they have to feel like they can stand on their argument, it's the simple fact that we haven't seen a lot of these guys that we argue about in a bad situation. And that's what I die for, to see them in that bad situation, just to see how they handle it. You know, earn that elite status to me, get in that tough situation and still thrive. Then you get all the utmost respect from me. But it just don't happen, man. But I've given the proof that Tannehill's era, all those quarterbacks that came in Tannehill era, it was only one that survived it all. I can't even say survive at all because he didn't even win anything, and that was Andrew Luck. He didn't even win anything, but his play remained consistent even with the bad O-line. Okay, but when you look at Russell Wilson, RG3, Cam Newton, and all of those guys, Russell had the most success, but as soon as he got off his rookie deal, he never won more than 11 games again. And Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl. As soon as he got off that rookie deal, they don't even know if they want the man right now.
Right.
I'll never forget. I'll never forget. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you know, Cap's a whole nother. He's a whole nother. That's a whole nother topic as well. But I think the biggest thing that people need to take into consideration across the board is that when you look at football, I don't care how good the quarterback is. I really don't, because you can take, and you know, we talked about this briefly before, but Trent Dilfer won a championship with a stout defense, and that offensive line was built to run the ball, right? In the same form and fashion that if you look across the line, there's no major Pro Bowlers. I mean, Nate Soldier was the last Pro Bowler that New England really had. You know what I mean? They got the kid Thuney. He's pretty good, but I don't even think Belichick gonna sign him in the offseason. He's a free agent coming up next year, and he's a great offensive guard. But you know what I mean? They do it based on scheme, and they believe that if we coach them up well enough, they can do exactly what we need to have done and not have to go over the top and trying to get some elite guy that's gonna break the bank.
And spend the elite money,
Yeah, and spend the least amount of money so that if you do have to go out and get you a guy that's considered top of the class, or you know what I mean, then you have that money to go spend, and then you still have a loss in the thing because you got a young O-line that's gelling together. Like, I don't mind the Davis signing, right? I think it's unfortunate that he hurt his elbow.
Yeah.
But, you know, I always liked him because of his versatility. And then, you know, as a coach, looking at it from a coaching standpoint, I want guys that can play two different positions because that gives me scheme flexibility.
Flexibility,
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think across the board, what our guys are doing now, and we've all watched the last 4 games, and I think to myself, before any game starts, I always scrub my mind on what happened previously before, and I tell myself, okay, 3 things that I'm gonna look for. I'm gonna look for, are the guys engaged in the calls, right? Are they like, is the defensive leader getting everybody lined up where they need to be lined up? Are they enthusiastic about going out and engaging the other team? That matters. And are they at any point making the same mistakes that they made previously in the weeks before? Now, what I saw from a player standpoint is I didn't see guys out there quitting on their teammates. I haven't seen guys out there not getting each other aligned and assigned. I've seen them doing a lot of that. I've seen a lot of communication out there, which tells me that they're learning the system. What I've seen, and I'll be honest, what I've seen is a letdown from the coaching staff in regards to changing up the looks and changing up the packages so that you give the other team something else to think about. I watched them come out and line up, and instead of when we knew Melvin Ingram was out, let's take the Chargers game in particular. I hate to be hogging up the chat.
You good?
But let's take the Chargers game in particular. When Melvin Ingram went out and they put the other replacement guy in, my thought process as a coach is, I'm going after this guy. And I'm going after this guy and the guy to the outside of him because I know the guy that's outside of him don't trust this guy. I ain't running that Bosa. We know who Bosa is. But this guy that just showed up out here, he ain't getting the reps in practice like Melvin Ingram is. So I'm going to put my fullback in the game. I'm going to have my fullback attack that guy along with the tackle, and we're going to see what he's about. Around that, yeah, exactly. But I didn't see that from O'Shea, man. Yeah. I saw him still out and putting Rosen in the shotgun, and that feeds into another team, the other teams, because we were behind by then. But if you come out after half and you reestablish the run game, which we had little couple runs going in the first quarter, the first half to some degree, then you tell the other team two things. One, we ain't afraid of y'all, and we're going to still stick to what we want to do. You don't get to dictate to us. And two, I trust my guys to get their job done. When you go to abandoning all the other run game stuff and you strictly go to passing the ball, that ain't sending the right message to players. And I don't care how much they're getting paid. At the end of the day, players still want to feel like their coaches have their back.
And they want to win at the end of the day.
They want to win.
And the crazy thing.
I put the Chargers game. At the end of the day, I put the Chargers game on bad execution by the coaching staff and whoever's coaching up the wide receivers. I don't know who the wide receiver coach is right now, but he needs to really go back to the fundamentals and have these guys working with the jugs again.
You know, you make a good point in regards to the adjustment by O'Shea. It wasn't so much the overall schematic adjustment. It was more so you see, like, that's a whole nother. I like that you said that because that's a whole nother element of the game to think about. You are, and I can only put yourself in O'Shea's shoes, and you can see how. Exactly. No, I'm in agreement with you. So you made me think about putting myself in O'Shea's shoes and saying to myself, man, okay, I already got a lot to worry about as in calling the right play, putting my guys in the right situation and the right look. And you brought up one key thing that actually blew my mind because it's an amazing thought process about it, was the simple fact of you got so much to do as an offensive coordinator to get this right. Yeah. And then you got more as in who are they subbing in and out? You know?
Exactly.
That's a whole other element that no one talks about in regards to football. Right. But the greatest coaches, they see those things. What do you think? They were doing it to us. Hey, we got Eric Rowe over here. We're going to do heavy on this side, one on that side. But we're going to cause the one high safety they're running to make sure they're guarding these three over here over the top. So we're going to get this one-on-one against Eric Rowe. They're scheming that. Every time they need a big play, Eric Rowe got toasted one-on-one. Eric Rowe got – but it wasn't like he was in a lot of traffic. It was a one-on-one situation, and the coaches put him in that situation.
Right.
And they knew to be in that situation. So good observation on that.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying good observation on that because that's something that I'm gonna have to start looking at O'Shea about and seeing, you know, is he noticing these things? We got a second string or a third string coming in on this defensive end position on the left now. Are you about to power run on that left and take advantage of that? Because everybody takes advantage of our weakness.
Exactly.
Everybody takes advantage, but we're not taking advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I think the element that they're missing more than anything right now at this point, and I get it, right? I get that it's a big transition at any level to go from just a guy giving your opinion or just giving little tidbits here and there every now and then, and coaching guys to being the guy that's actually calling the plays. I've been there in that position when I moved up from JV to the head defensive coach, head defensive coordinator. So the trust thing too. At the same time, he's got to trust that his other guys are taking care of their responsibilities so he can scheme, right? So he can look at and figure out who we're going to exploit, what packages that we feel will really work, things of that nature. But what I won't let him off the hook for, and I understand his issues, but what I won't let him off the hook for is that he still needs to just stick with the fundamentals of football, man. We went from I've seen way too many single back sets And I've seen way too many sets where we don't even have a lead blocker in the backfield. When if we're trying to establish the run, half the problem, half the weight of the blocking aspects are taken off of the line of the old line's shoulders if you give them an extra guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So what? So what if they know we finna run every time you're in the I formation, strong formation, or the weak formation? So what? They still got to account for that guy. And that guy's going to put a hat on somebody, which frees up our guys up front that I have to worry about dealing with monsters up there. They can focus on the double teams at the nose tackle position to turn that guy so the quarterback can get to the next level to get on the Mike linebacker. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when we only bring the guy out to run short yardage stuff, everybody know what's coming, so they can load the box. They can sacrifice a guy to take on the fullback, and they still got guys free. You know what I mean? Because they put 8 in the box on our short yardage stuff because
absolutely.
We went out there, and then we went out there short yardage and tried to do it against single back, and you don't have a lead blocker there. So now you got inexperienced guys asking them to do way too much. So if he dials back the scheme a little bit, I think over the course, I think the installs, our thought process of installs used to be that if you got 180 plays, by week 5, week 6, you should be roughly through about 45 of those plays. And out of those 45 plays, you should be able to scheme those plays 3 formations. So that gives you 135 plays that you can run. And actually, it becomes 270 when you flip it to the other side of the.
Yeah, just flipping it.
And you don't need to be over the top. You need, there's key elements of things that you need. I don't know, man. That's just me. I watch these guys out there when they be calling these plays, man. I think they just be way too over the top with. You know what I mean? You still see the Patriots running out routes and slants and drags.
Doing the basics. And because
the stuff that work.
And if you can get the basics to work, then who's gonna stop you? That's it. All that other wrinkle stuff is in tough games where it's a defensive match and you want to try something new because they got your number.
Can I play devil's advocate real quick?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so like the last 2 games, it seems like in the second half we've been, trying to pass the ball more. And have we all not been preaching that this year is about the evaluation of Josh Rosen? Yeah, we can run the ball and yeah, we can enforce our will, but the fact that he didn't have a preseason with all these starters, Albert Wilson is going, so he's trying to build a chemistry with these guys other than Preston Williams. And he has been making some throws. If these guys are catching these balls, we're not talking about establishing a run game. We're like, let them throw in more, maybe get more, snaps in the first half. But I think they really are trying to say, you know what, Rosen? We're going to give you every single opportunity to truly evaluate you. And if we have to move on from you, we have to move on. It's not like they're not giving this kid a fair shot or a fair chance. They're saying, hey, Rosen, how do you want it? Do you want to play action? And I've seen Rosen do, great things. Some of us say Rosen is the guy. Some of us say we're going to go get Tua or Fromm or Easton or whoever. But at the end of the day, they're actually giving this kid a chance to show what he can do and have these wide receivers caught him with these passes. Maybe we're not discussing it in this light or saying something about the pass, like the play calling. Go ahead, Kay. I see you.
I can't argue what you're saying, and I agree with it 100%. My only thing is that you can still incorporate an effective passing game while still being physical and running the ball. Because if you establish, because they said this, Flores said that he wanted to be a physical team. The only thing physical to me, passing game is finesse. The run game is physical. So if we and you're right, they did abandon a lot of the passing in the second half because we were down. But I don't think you necessarily need to go full blown 4 wides, 5 wides. You know what I'm saying? Empty sets when.
Yeah. But which has been more successful? Our run game, our passing game, both have been atrocious to me. But we have had more passing highlights than we've had running highlights. Right. So now you're actually. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Except in that game. Except in that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I break down. I'm looking. I'll go 2 games back with you. But we didn't stay in the game with Dallas.
Mhm.
We didn't stay in the game with Dallas based on just the passing. You know what I mean? We still made them honor the run game, right?
Yes,
I think when you abandon that concept and you get away from it, you tell your hand to exactly, you tell them another team, like, listen, okay, we ain't gonna even try to run the ball no more. The best we're gonna do is maybe show it to you, but we still gonna pass out of this set. You know, and they can just tee off on you. And that's where those sacks came from in the
Yep.
the first half of games.
That's where they came from.
What I'm saying is O'Shea needs to, even if he gives the look of a run set and pass out of it, I'm fine with that. But that's giving a different thing for the defense to have to think about, as opposed to setting Josh back 6 yards, lining up the running back right next to him, and the running back doesn't even give you any indication that he's getting the ball on the inside zone or anything. And it's a pass set. Like, you telling your hand and hold up for that. Because
and emptying out the backfield at times.
Emptying out the backfield at times. So now you got my guy who I've been lobbying for back there getting teed off, and Josh is not athletic like that. He's a pocket guy.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Why put him in that situation? That's all I'm saying. Run the rock.
Now,
that's what the third and 4, most teams will pass. The Patriots will run the ball on you on 3rd and 4.
We're not gonna talk about the Patriots running game because some of us doing nothing for my fantasy draft.
I'm just saying. But they do that.
I wanted to comment on what Finsanity 5 said, though, because I think she's right. It's just that it's so wrong for them to be doing that. If she's correct, and I think she is correct, as far as being the primary focus, evaluating Josh. We know they want to do that, but that's wrong for them to be doing. You can evaluate him in a normal flow of a game.
That's all I'm saying.
Not sitting there and just trying to put all the onus on him in an already bad situation.
That's
you already got so many gaps on the squad.
They all getting evaluated.
And that's not fair. They need to. He's not the only one we should be evaluating. You see what I mean? Kenyon Drake needs to be evaluated.
But I'm saying at this point, like I'm even like pass on first down. Why even waste the first down if Balaj or Drake's not going to get a push, our offensive line is not going to get a push to get us at least 3 yards on first down? Why even waste the down? I think they're at that mindset, man. Listen, if y'all ain't going to do it, we're going to put the ball in Josh Rosen's hand, and maybe that'll make our running backs like even more hungrier on the back end of our schedule. Because one thing that running backs want, if they want their touches, if they're not getting their yards or getting their plays, it's gonna eat at them. Right. But at least our coaching staff is saying, listen, if you can't even get us 3 or 4 yards on first down, we'll put the ball in Josh Rosen's hands and go for broke with it. There has to be a risk reward with these guys if we're trying to develop them.
But we were getting that 3 or 4 yards in the first half of the game. That's my only point with the Chargers game, because I'm in agreement with you. I just hate that they abandoned it. I mean, they abandoned the run. Let me tell you when they abandoned the run, okay? Mm-hmm. First off, this is what happened in the third quarter. They came out, they ran the ball with Drake one time, and it was a good run, right? Mm-hmm. Then we had a first down. They ran the ball again, and it was our first rush of the day that was a negative yard rush. The first rush of the day that we had that was negative yard. Right where we went away from it after one more run, but Lodge broke off 10 yards, and it was a holding penalty. After that,
call back.
After that, we threw the ball 15 times in a row. We threw the ball 15 times in a row after that. That's a panic to me. That's panicking. Drake gets a first down. The next first down, we get -2. The next play, Balaj gets the first down, but they call it back for holding, and you just and you run. You run away from it. That's abandoning it, man. And that sucked, man. That reminds me of freaking Adam Gase.
Yeah.
And I hate that crap, man.
Yeah. I tell you what I did see, though. I don't know. I mean, I know y'all watched the game, and I went back and watched the game over again. I tell you what I did see that I like. I do like Boehm, what that boy name is. Evan Boehm. Mm-hmm. and Prince at right tackle.
Prince, yes.
Man.
When I saw on film with Prince, I was actually, because I'm a little biased about Prince. I just thought he was a bum. I just thought Prince was a bum. But what I saw on the film today, for the little bit that I watched, I was like, look at Prince.
They were moving. Hey, they were moving some people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was Prince's first start.
Yes, and
it was his first start.
I'm with you. I was thinking to myself, like, how we even get this dude, man? He ain't gonna pan out. But then
I was biased. I was like, I don't want no Prince.
I went back and watched the tape. I went back and watched the game again, and I tried to break down all of him and that cat Bowen that they brought. Them boys were moving some people around. We gonna need a center because Kilgore ain't it.
Yeah, I hate that too because he's falling off.
Yeah,
he's falling off bad. I felt like he was the reliable one. I felt like he was the one that's reliable.
He ain't it. So if we do go, I think we'll be fine. And work with me on this. If they keep if Bowen and Prince and you develop them two at right tackle and right guard, and then go and leave Dieter at left guard, and then Davis can come back healthy, I think we'll be fine at the line if we can go get old boy from Wisconsin,
Wisconsin,
the center from Wisconsin. Grown man. That boy grown man.
When do you think he's projected?
First round.
Where though? No, I know first, but where? Where do you think he's projected?
Mid first round.
So is that where we would be banking on a possible Houston Texans pick?
Yeah, probably.
So
that's the thing, though. We have to ensure that the offensive line is solid. So and people want. I mean, listen, man. I just want to make sure everybody in the chat understands two things. I don't have anything against Tua. I just believe that it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. If we don't fix the pieces around him,
it don't matter.
It don't matter. It's a simple process. We can go out and get whoever we can put Brady back there. It ain't gonna matter if you can't protect him.
They'll say it will, but it won't. But you know what? I want to see if you guys remember. Remember preseason when this offensive line was looking atrocious?
Yeah.
Yes.
In other people's opinions, and what was I saying the whole time? Y'all remember what I was saying the whole time?
You on time, man.
Yeah, I said it doesn't matter. I think that's the one unit. I know we've been atrocious at O-line all our life, it feel like. But I said that's the one unit when we got people like when we got a coaching staff coming from the Patriots and they spend the least amount of money on the O-line, I think that the O-line is going to be okay with these no-name guys. And sure enough, it hasn't been perfect play. It ain't the most beautiful, but I'm telling you, the crazy thing is it's technically been better than we've had in the past.
They're gelling, man. This group is gelling really well.
And the group that plays Sunday is the first. We ain't had a game where a unit played together yet. More than a game. We've had a different unit every week.
And I told people the offensive line blocks as a unit. It doesn't block one person on one person. You have to have a lot of trust and a lot of chemistry to understand, like, if you can pass some guy off and the guy knows. It's very cerebral, the offensive line, and a lot of people don't, see that because it has to be like it's on a string. Because if I pass this guy off to you because I need to get back out to this guy, I got to know you're not going to let this go straight line to the quarterback, because the quickest way is straight. And if, like a lot of guys, if you want to get to the quarterback first, you try to get that inside move. You don't try to go outside. You want to see why Robert Quinn wasn't doing too well with us? Look how many times he tried to go all the way outside and around. But now with the Dallas Cowboys, he's trying to go in, inside more often. So
bull rush.
You have to have that trust. If I can pass this guy off to my guard to get out to maybe this, slot corner that's trying to rush, or maybe I know the running back we've set the protection where the running back knows to pick up this guy. There's so many things who the tight end. And I remember I was listening to Mike Gesicki's Mic'd Up, and the line guy told him, said, hey, listen, you go get the safety if he comes. We'll handle everybody else. But it's that type of communication, and it takes time and repetition. It takes practice, and it takes in-game situations. Real facts.
Hey, they say for a reason that the guys that are academically the smartest and the cerebral cats on the field are the offensive linemen, because one, they have so much stuff that they have to do together. It takes a lot for 5 separate brains to work as one. You know what I'm saying? Listen, for these first 4 games, I think the NFL give the NFL one of these, because this is the first. This is the biggest. That's the toughest 4-game stretch that I've ever known the Dolphins will ever have to go through.
No, let me tell you, don't get me started, because it's even worse than that. First of all, we got one of the toughest first 4 games. That ain't even half the story. Then they want to give us most of them at home, and later in the season, it don't get better, and they put us on the road.
Yeah.
Go look at the Patriots' home games. They play the toughest teams at home. It's ridiculous, man. They be robbing us, man.
Listen, out of all the teams that have not, won a game so far, we're the only team that's faced 4 playoff teams. Count it.
Yeah.
4 playoff teams. Teams that were good enough to make.
Hey,
I can't
ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for us. We know this.
Right.
They didn't do us any favors with this scheduling. You know what I mean? And I had already said to myself, and I taught my sons a lot about it. And I told myself, if we can make it out of these first 4 games healthy and go into the healthy, that's a plus. And
have we?
Well, I mean, we still haven't seen Wilson, but for what, 3 plays? So aside from him, we only lost Davis, right? Davis the only guy.
Davenport.
Who? Oh, Davenport.
Bobby McCain.
Listen, so who is it?
Bobby McCain.
Oh yeah, because of the shoulder, right?
Rashad Jones just coming back.
Yeah, but those guys, they were nicked up. Yeah, but they were nicked up at the end of training camp.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Same ones.
Yeah, same ones. Yeah. So and we didn't know what we were getting with Davenport. He was just thrown in because Houston Texans just wanted him gone.
So what you think about Davenport though?
I saw the information. They were talking about all this stuff with the sacks that he gave up and all this type of stuff. I don't look into that, man, because it don't tell you who he was up against, for one. And then he was really dealing with a dog every Sunday. You know what I mean? And you leave him out there on an island by himself, and you left the man with no help. Then they didn't do him any service. So I say, yeah, go ahead.
EM is in the chat. I don't know if TD wants to put up the link to get him in here.
I'll put the link.
I just wanted. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mr. Ballgame, but I know you guys were looking for him. So
I'll put the link. He's been ducking us, man.
I went back and looked at some. I went back and looked at some film of Davenport, man, and I just thought to myself that first thing that jumped out to me was athletic guy, but undercoached. You know what I'm saying? So I took all that with a grain of salt, and I said to myself, like, they put him, whoever had, Texans put him in some bad situations, and they didn't coach him, because you can tell, like, some of his technique stuff wasn't, wasn't where it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? In terms of him setting, like his kick foot.
Oh yeah,
his kick foot was slow. You know what I mean? I think he would probably be better. I mean, because when they had him, I think he'd be better suited inside as opposed to outside. Just based on his footwork. But that's just me looking at him from a coaching standpoint. But
here's my question: has the Texans' offensive line been better with Tunsil?
Nope.
So he kind of got a steal on top of a steal. Like
we did.
Like, they was better off giving a pick at this point.
Watson still running for his life.
Man, there you go, Mr. Ballgame.
Anthony,
what's your opinion on drafting Grant Delpit with Chase Young if we have back-to-back Hey, man, I'm all about getting game. I'm all about drafting day one starters. Delpit is a grown man playing against boys right now. So I'm good with Delpit. I love the center Beatis from Wisconsin. And if we can get Chase, listen, that's a steal. That would be talked about draft wise for at least another 5 years. We can get Chase Young, Delpit, and Beatis. I'm telling you, I'm with that. All for that. Those are my guys. Those are the guys that I would pick. Like right now, if I had to choose, if I was going to make the choice, those are my three with those picks. And then I'll go in the second round and grab because Judy will be gone, CD Lamb will be gone, and Higgins will be gone. But I grab a wide receiver in the second round and a corner. I grab a corner in the second round, and then that'll be the top 5 picks because you can't miss those positions. Have a lot of guys, a lot of really good players at those positions. But Chase Young is a generational talent, man. You watch the guy on Sundays, man. Saturdays, you can tell right off the bat. Everybody teams to try to stop him. Everybody they played thus far, and that boy is phenomenal.
Shout out to you, EM Dolphin. We see you in the building. We knew you was running. We knew you was running from us, man.
Oh yeah. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you. You see, that's EM Dolphin. He don't know nothing about football.
I'm sorry.
You see?
I'm out here in the backyard. I had to come out here in the backyard, man. I got a little something going on in the house.
It's all good.
So I had to break away for a minute.
You good, bro? You good?
Hey,
y'all doing?
No. Hey, we don't. Hey, what's up with this? What's up with these flaws that Tua's making up for?
What do you mean? What you talking about?
You said there were flaws on that Alabama offense that he's making up for with his skill set.
Do you not see him getting pressured again? Have you been watching? Have you been watching a film set or you watching highlights?
No. I'm watching. I'm sitting and watching the game. I'm watching the game.
Okay.
Then I'm going back after I've recorded even more.
Okay, you watching. What you're doing is you're not watching film study. You're not sitting in front of somebody that's credentialed, that's breaking down the game film, play by play, and you're going off of what you think you're seeing. That is not what. That's what I was trying to explain to TV about.
I got 16 years of coaching experience. I know what I'm looking at.
Okay. He said credentialed.
I'm assuming you know what that means, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
what makes
but anyway,
you think credentials mean something? Half of these fools on TV credentials and don't know football.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's that?
I said half of these fools. These fools on TV credentialed and don't know football.
Well, hey, it's about whose opinion you value. And these individuals who I've been following for a year now, they've been dissecting this man's game ever since they got enough sample size to do so. And I'm telling you, it's a consensus amongst all the individuals that I trust now. I don't know about you, and I don't know about Mr. Ballgame, and I don't know about Finsanity, but they are high on this young man. He has a special set of skill sets that Josh Rosen, especially when he came out, that the things that Josh, if you remember the knock on can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Because if you remember when you remember when Josh Rosen came out, right? 2 years ago, and when they evaluated him and they highlighted the things that he struggled with. He had a good deep ball. He threw a good deep ball, and that's showing up in the pros. But when they evaluated him, they said where he struggles at is when defenses force him to read the intermediate part of the field. He doesn't process things fast enough. And what was coming out of training camp what came out of training camp? What was the word on him in training camp this year?
He's not processing things fast enough.
Not processing fast enough. And all I'm saying is these are the areas, according to these credentialed individuals that I follow and I value their opinion. Those are skills that Tua is not struggling with, and that's something tangible that you can say that'll be translatable to the next level immediately.
But here's my thing. First and foremost, I hear all what you're saying, and I won't disagree with that in terms of processing the things of that nature. But we're talking about college defenses.
I understand.
Against NFL defenses.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
So those things to me, things that really and truthfully, because unless they're saying that he can start somewhere and be the same level of successfulness, have the same level of success, I think they all gonna struggle. All rookie quarterbacks gonna struggle in the NFL.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Tua don't have holes in his game. Everybody has holes in a game. Coming from that, Tom Brady has holes in his game. What I'm saying is, Tua at this level, all we can grade him on is him at Alabama, and based on his sample size that they've had for a 2-year window to grade him on, I'm telling you, what they're saying is that we haven't seen a prospect with the least amount of red flags since John Elway. And all I'm saying is this, and I'm telling you, this is not watching highlights. This is not sitting watching. This is film study, bringing it down play by play. They're privy to whatever plays being called, what responsibility Tua has within that play call, where he has to go with the ball, dictated by whatever defense is being called in that particular play. And I mean, they go play by play by play by play, and they highlight his weaknesses as well. So all I'm saying is this:
he had a bunch of them in the first half of last week's game too. Before the other team dogs that they didn't have really wore down, and then Alabama just took over.
Yeah, and I agree with y'all on he when they interviewed him, it's a podcast that I follow called 3 Yards Per Carry.
3 yards per carry. Okay.
They interviewed him. They had the opportunity to interview him last week, and they asked him about the knock on him is that he's playing with blue chip talent, all over his offense. He said, I totally understand that. I agree with you 100%. So, I agree with y'all in that he has talent, but again, go to the film study. I mean, this is what I mean. Why I'm so impressed with him. Okay, I obviously he does have a lot of talent to deal with, but they're breaking down play by where he's going, where he's placing the ball. This dude's got two defensive linemen draped all on him, and he's putting the ball in tight windows that only, maybe even at the pro level, that maybe it's 5 quarterbacks in the league that can do that. And he's already exhibiting this skill set at this level. That's something tangible that you can put your finger on and say, wow, that'll translate immediately. Now, he'll have to get adjusted to the speed of the game, obviously, because they tell you the jump from college to pros is like night and day. But what I'm saying, he's got a special skill set, and his arm talent is just watching highlights, you can tell the dude has unbelievable arm talent.
He won't be our pick though.
So what I'm saying is, as far as comparing him to Josh Rosen, his improvisational skill set, Josh Rosen can only dream about having that kind of athleticism, extending plays. When does Josh Rosen ever do that? When does he ever do that? So
bro, you keep on using terms. You keep using terms like extending plays.
He extended plays this last week.
No. Let me finish. You keep using terms like hold on. You keep using terms like extending plays in college against bums.
Okay, so
against bums.
Okay, so what is Chase? So this is my biggest argument with you, TD. All due respect and much love, bro, before I unleash on you. Okay.
Unleash, baby.
Hang on. You sitting up here hyping this dude, Chase Young, up.
I ain't got to hype him up.
Hang on, like he the second comment of Lawrence Taylor. And who is this team play the first, 4 or 5 games of the year?
Well, who is Tua played?
Hold on.
Let me
They ain't played nobody either, bro. Like
let me finish. So Chase Young is amassed all of these sacks in his first half of the season, in his first games of the year. He hadn't played any kind of ranked opponents, but you're hyping him. But when you're talking about Tua, you're saying, oh, he's doing that against no name talent. He's doing that against small schools. I don't want to hear that. But yet you hype Chase Young up for doing the same thing. It makes no sense. The buffoonery ends tonight. The buffoonery.
You know, Ian, when you say that this man has a particular set of skills, all I think of is Taken, like for real. Like every time you say that,
You have a particular
that's
set
the
of
only
skills.
thing that comes to my mind is Taken when the father was on the phone. But listen, Tua is good. I call him Tua Touch. He is good. But what we're saying is that we don't have to put in all our chips on one guy like you guys are doing. There are other talented guys out there, and not to evaluate the other guys or give them a fair shot as a disrespect to their journey to where they are. Can you imagine if Tua placed himself out of another Heisman Trophy?
Finsanity, I would agree with you 100%, sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with you 100% if we only had one. If we only had one first round draft. Why do you think Miami did that? They're stacking all the chips in their favor. That way, if they I don't. Again, let me clarify again. I only would draft Tua unless we are picking number 1 overall. I don't want to trade up assets to get him. I don't want to do that.
I don't think we'll be number 1.
Why not?
If we're sitting
No,
there,
I doubt that now, man. It's
Okay,
gonna be
The Bengals look way worse than us.
See, I can't sleep on the Jets.
That too.
well, yeah, and I can't, and Adam Gase might even do that to be spiteful. Might lose on purpose for the rest of the year and get the number 1 overall pick just being spiteful because
I read an article today, made me sick. Talk about, believe it or not, the Dolphins might end up be picking 4th or 5th. It made me sick.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree. But only if we don't secure the number 1 overall, or he's not available when we're picking with our first pick. If I don't want to trade up for him. Don't not assets for anybody.
We're not making it out of the top 3.
But we've got 3 first-round picks, possibly 2 in the top 10. You have 13 total overall picks. You got 2 number 1s next year, 2 number 2s next year. You can pick a quarterback of your liking. It might not even be 2. This might be smoke screen. Might be trying to do this to build up, to get somebody to come up and trade up for him.
I believe we will draft a quarterback next year. I just don't see us taking these assets and trading any of them to move for one dude. We're just not going to do that. I don't see that happening, and I think that's a good thing because there's still so many holes left on this team.
Got 13 picks. I don't know.
Listen, let's be real, bro. Everything past the 3rd round is not something that we probably gonna actually have. We need guys that can go out and play for us right away next season. Everything past those 3rd round picks are maybes.
But look,
dream players. You feel me?
Hey, Mr. Ballgame, all due respect, bro. My thing is, okay, I know you want immediate impact, quote unquote, superstar players with those top 3 picks. I get that. Immediate start. I agree with that 100%. But what Miami needs more than anything is depth. They need to start building the depth and foundation of their team more so than anything, because that's what we lacked the last 5, 6, 7 years. We've been top heavy, not necessarily in the terms of we've been a Super Bowl contender or anything like that. But we have no depth, absolutely no depth, and they're showing you now where we came in listening to TD. Hyping up our linebackers, that was not supposed to be an issue this year. And look what happened. Look what's going on. It's an issue.
They're improving every week.
No. See, hold on. Let me defend myself.
Raekwon McMillan is rated the number 1 run defense linebacker by PFF right now.
Right now in the NFL. Luckily, they just started giving. Luckily, they just started giving him more touches. And you sit here telling me I hyped up our linebackers. Our linebackers were solid. The problem is we haven't been able to get any defensive end help, so the linebackers been having to overcompensate.
How many is Raekwon McMillan playing?
Oh, last game he was the primary linebacker. The game before that, he only got 28 snaps, and they made it an emphasis to make sure he got more.
Okay, I hear you. I understand that, but my thing is, don't get fooled by that PFF ranking. The man has
listen. The dude technically.
When you think they got Tua ranked?
What? No, I'm talking. You have a
whole season, right?
Him. You don't with Raekwon McMillan. Not this year. You don't. But I'm not knocking Raekwon. I love Raekwon. My theory as far as our linebacking core was that coming into this year, when they put him on the shelf and they put Baker in the middle, I said immediately he is too small to play the middle linebacker position. Especially
Baker, listen, no.
I said that. Go back to the video when TD asked who our starting linebacker should be. I definitely said Raekwon.
They shifted to Iguavin and Baker because of their skill set in regards to pass coverage.
I understand.
Okay. So when you see, let me finish.
Go ahead.
When you see teams come out there in 3-1-1 sets or coming out there and they go and spread, you got to have guys out there that aren't limited in that position. And Iguavin and Baker suit those roles better. That's the reason why. But when they go into
football.
But look at we played in the first 3 games. Power teams that don't generally stay, in particular, playing against us. Baltimore, New England, Dallas. These are power teams.
Hold on.
The power team?
New England didn't run the ball. New England didn't have a lot of success on us against the run. They scored in the passing game.
First of all, after the first quarter, New England said,
I
can.
Aside from that Mark Ingram run, what else did Baltimore do on the ground in their run game aside from that Mark Ingram run in the first quarter?
Hold on. Let's pause for a second, man. Let's pause for a second, y'all. Let's pause for a second. EM, let's pause for a second, man. Let's pause for a second, okay? First off, and I'm sorry I muted all 3. That way we can calm down, first of all. And shout out to K Flexing coming in the room. Wanted to make sure I show some love to him. Shout out to him coming over listening to the conversation, man. But listen, man, I'm going to bring y'all back to the conversation now. I just think a lot of us had a lot to say at one time. So I'm going to bring us back into the conversation. The person it was left off for, we're going to go right back to EM Dolphin, let him finish making his point. We're going to let Mr. Ballgame get in after that, and then Finsanity, if you wanted to add on to it, because I know that the only thing she said was she was one of the ones who said we should start Raekwon. I want to make sure y'all heard that, okay? She did say that, all right? But before I let you in, EM, I'm going to say something. I'm going to defend myself with you giving all these false facts and true lies. All these false facts and true lies, man. You continue to make every excuse in the world to make your narrative sound right. Oh, that sounds familiar. Don't they say that's what you do, TD? So I'm going to back off of you a little bit. But anywho, all right? Let me be clear about something, man. You sit here trying to tell me that I hyped up our linebackers and they didn't end up to be nothing. Man, stop listening to every other episode that I have on this show. If you gonna call me on something, I need you to listen to every episode I have, because if you don't follow every episode, you ain't gonna hear it all. You ain't gonna understand my factual stance on any of these subjects, okay? So first and foremost, one thing that I've always been preaching is schematic football. Schematic football. Raekwon McMillan actually was behind the ball in camp. He started to come on shocking everybody. Literally shocking everybody, and the coaches made it a vocal point. They said every time we put him in there in his limited touches, he has been balling out in every facet of the game, especially the run game. He's been attacking, clogging the run. And the coaches said before the Chargers game, we are going to make an emphasis to make sure that we put Raekwon McMillan on the field more. This man played top snaps last game, so he's been out there. He's been balling out, man. He has been balling out. He's been doing his thing. Edward Vaughn was to make sure that if they threw screen passes or they ran on the outside, he can get from coast to coast, especially with his skill set coming from the other league where they got a wider field, because he was the best linebacker to go east and west, the best linebacker in coverage. So they're trying to put these guys out there in the best schematic situation. But I don't even care about the defense. You know why? It ain't on the linebackers. As long as we don't have a pass rush, i.e. Chase Young, as long as we don't have a pass rush, it ain't going to matter anyway. It's going to make the cornerbacks look bad, which they have. It's going to make the linebackers look bad, which they have. And I can't wait till we done talking about this crap anyway, so I can show you some of these tour highlights and spell out in ABC 1, 2, 3 what I keep trying to tell you about this guy. So I'm going to let y'all back at it. We're going to go on with EM Dolphin. I know he's going to rip me apart, but then we're going to let Mr. Ballgame go after that insanity whenever you want. All right,
bro. I'm not trying to rip you apart. I'm here to help. I love y'all. Y'all my Dolphin family. What you mean? I'm not here to rip anybody apart. I just want more than anything the buffoonery to end tonight. That's what I want. So,
hey, do you want me to mute? Do you want me to mute your mic then if you wanted to end? I'm messing with you, man. Go ahead, man.
TD, I'm just juicing you up, bro. I'm just kidding, bro.
I'm juicing you too, man. Let's roll.
But look, man. Mr. Bog, I respect all of y'all's opinion, bro. It's really. Let me say this real quick. It's only one person that really bothers me about his opinions and his analysis on our team, and I hate to even mention his channel, but y'all probably know who I'm talking about already. Man, what's his name? Dylan Tartaro, I think his name is. Y'all ever look at his videos?
I done decided not to worry about other channels and stuff. I
hear you. But anyway, he's the only one that really bothers me. I follow Great One, K Flexen. I respect all of y'all's opinion. Y'all are very insightful, and I learn a lot from all of y'all. I take a little bit from everybody. But again, we on the same page for the most part, but we differ. Where we differ is, I guess, is in our our evaluation of Josh Rosen. It's just too small of a sample size at this point for Miami to just ignore that position, especially when you have a highly rated prospect like Tua to come along. And that's my only point. I like Josh Rosen. I like him. In a perfect world, I hope he turns around and puts up a Kurt Warner-like performance for the rest of the year. I really do.
But we don't disagree. We don't disagree about Rosen. We understand he still has flaws and he's learning and he's getting better, though. The person we disagree with is this guy on the screen right now. Not this guy, but you don't even see a defender anywhere around him, which tell you who two are throwing two wide open people. But that's not them. But that's the guy we don't agree on.
Okay, but how many quarterbacks you see in the pros that have wide receivers running wide open down the field that continually miss them? Do we forget about Ryan Tannehill?
This ain't about the quarterbacks.
Hey, Ryan Tannehill hadn't been gone that long, bro.
We're talking about your guy. We're talking about your guy right now, and you want to bring other people guys to try to make your guy look better.
No, all I'm saying is stop knocking that dude. He's making a play. It ain't his fault the dude is wide open. He's making a play.
Yeah, but how do you know when he get in the NFL and he ain't let me help you out for a second. Let me help you out real quick. Let me help you out. Okay? Let me help you out. Pay attention. Stop. You see that? You see that?
Okay.
In the NFL, at least one of them guys already beat.
Okay. I hear you.
He can't sit back there and relax like that in the NFL.
Okay. I hear you.
Look at that. He's still chilling. Look at it. Finally a guy coming. And now look what he's throwing to. Look at that separate. Look what he's throwing to.
That's one play.
No. It ain't one play. You know why? You know why it ain't one play? How about you look at the next one?
We can
keep going.
TD, let me ask you this. TD, when Josh Rosen threw that touchdown pass to Devontae Parker Sunday, was he not touched? Did he have 6 seconds sitting back there?
He wasn't. No, he wasn't touched. You make a point with that, but at the end of the day, this is every tour play. Josh Rosen don't have this every play.
Okay.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Is anybody around him? On top of nobody being around him, look at this. Look at this.
Look, your point. I mean, TD. All due respect, bro. What you're doing is you're knocking this man, and he's making a play. How can you criticize? How can you hate on that man for doing that?
I'm not. Once again, you're misunderstanding what I'm trying to get across to you. I love Tua. I just have questions that I don't know. How do you draft somebody number 1 overall, and there's parts of his game that you don't know if he can do or not? When are we going to see him in pressure situations make these plays? And the one time I ever seen him in a pressure situation was against Clemson, and he folded.
On the live stream. I'm sorry.
No, you good, bro.
Hang on. I got family out here trying to charge me up, talking about I'm being too loud. But but it's all good. Yeah, but I hear you. I get it. I understand. But the thing is, bro, did you watch Trevor Lawrence Saturday? And I'm sure he playing with the same amount of blue chip players that Tua plays with. And look how he looked Saturday. That's all I'm saying. So all you can do is grade him on what he's doing in college. That's all you can do, and you take the risk. But
you try to tell me all these analysts are telling you he has all the intangibles X, Y, and Z. I agree. He has it all when he's allowed to have it all. Look at this play. I don't even know what's gonna happen. I ain't seen this yet. Oh my gosh. This is clockwork. Look, bro. Look at how he threw him open. Look at what a ball is placed. Look at what a ball is placed. Hold on. You just said. Look at what a ball is. You just said threw him open. He threw him open.
Did he underthrow him?
He's throwing the ball out in front of the man.
What's the definition of throwing somebody open? That ain't
that's a 4-8. That's 4-8. That's 4-3-7 all day right there, bro.
Hey. What you asked a question. You said, what's the definition of throwing someone open? Putting the ball out in front of the receiver and hitting him in stride where he can make a play. Is that not what he just did? Is that not what he just did?
Bro, yes, he did exactly what you said, but that ain't what you call throw. That ain't what you call throwing him open, man. The man was already open.
Well, okay. Well, check the. Okay, well, how many quarterbacks do we see that underthrow that same type when a quarterback is in that same situation and they underthrow the receiver? How many times do we see that? But do you see Tua doing that?
Bro, I'm not talking, bro. I'm just putting that as a little sprinkle on the top, a cherry on top with the whole throw open thing. The stuff that I'm talking about is the fact that look at his pocket when he's throwing. Gosh, man.
I'm not debating that.
My point is he gonna make those throws when that pocket not there? Is he gonna make those throws if the pocket's not there? That's the only thing I keep trying to. That's the only conversation we're having here, bro. But you know what? I want to talk about.
But you know what? That's why your responsibility is to build around him and make sure he's being put in those advantageous type situations in order to make like that.
So we can't put nobody else in that situation. We can't put Rosen in that situation. We can't put Tannehill in that situation. That's my point. That's my freaking point.
Hey, not after 2 games. Not after 2 games, bro.
That's my point. Y'all want to make these excuses for Tua and say, well, that's why we got to put everything perfect around him. But I've been arguing for 2 freaking years. Can we put something around the quarterback? And y'all want to put it all on the quarterback. Y'all want to put it all on the quarterback.
Okay.
But now, man, go ahead, man. I need to calm down, man. Go ahead.
Hey, TD, the buffoonery ends tonight, bro. It ends tonight.
Well, let me know when you're gonna stop talking.
Go ahead.
Let me ask a question.
Go ahead.
So let's say, for argument's sake, that your guy is the guy that we should take.
Mm-hmm.
We be doing him a disservice by not finding the assets around him to protect him. So, and if let's say we took him, If we don't, let's say we picking after where we want to be picking to get to him, right? We're gonna have to give up something to move up to go get him, right?
I wouldn't do that. I would not.
Okay.
What did I say? What did I say?
So we agree on that.
He just said if we did.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
So my question to you then is, take Tua off the board. Let's move away from Tua, because I think at this point we all agree that he's a generational talent. That there's a lot of other teams gonna be vying for him as well. So if we can't be in the number one spot to get him, we need to look at what else. What else would you take?
I got you, bro. I'm with you. If we are not, if he is not available when we are wherever we're selecting, whether that be 1, 2, 3, 8, if I'm not giving up assets because his team has, we're in a rebuilding mode, and I'm not giving up assets to go up and get a quarterback, and only because you have to give up assets. But my thing is, if we're not selecting him, can I give y'all this is my blueprint on how I think Miami can get this thing turned around.
That's what I'm asking you for, because at this point right now, we've been going back and forth over Tua, and I don't think we're gonna get to it. So
look, this is what I would do.
Would you take?
Look, this is what I would do. Okay, always remember, keep in mind, we have 160 million coming in cap space available. Okay? So what I would do, in particular on the interior of the offense and defensive line, what I would do in free agency is target those positions. I would get at right guard. I would, in particular, I would even slightly overspend for him, Brandon Sheriff from Washington. I think he would be a perfect scheme fit for this power scheme that they want to implement. Okay. I would target him in free agency, and I would target in the draft. I would go tackle, and I would either one or both, and I would get a center in the draft. My draft targets are, if we're picking number one, I go Tua, I go pass rush, and I go tackle and a center in a draft. Those would be my targets. And I would address in free agency, I would address that right guard position. And on the defensive end, I think I love Gauchaw and Christian Wilkins, but I think they in this 34 front, I think they're a little undersized to be playing the nose. I think we need to go get a true nose around 335 to 340, a true 345 pound nose tackle, like our quote unquote Vince Wilfork, and we need to move them on the outside. And I think immediately, and I know TD is all on this. Well, this gonna juice him up. So I know he's all on this Jalen Ramsey hype train, but I wouldn't target Jalen Ramsey only because we have to give up assets to get him.
That's a dream.
I would target Byron Jones from the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
And put him on the other side with Xavier Howard. And I think immediately, whether we keep Rosen or whether we draft Tua, I think even if we draft a quarterback or draft Tua, I think Tua, they'll sit him. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think he's not going to come in and be an immediate starter. And I think they'll do that. I think they'll sit him. And
so he's gonna be holding Rosenwater.
Yeah, absolutely. He got to humble himself. He nothing is given to nobody in this world. He need to earn his keep. All right. Bring him in and sit him. And I think if Rosen, again, this is what I'm telling you. If Rosen proves to us who he possibly can be, it's a win-win. You got this asset sitting here. You will still be able to get the same amount of, draft capital for Tua if you decide to trade him.
Now you'll get more.
That's why I understand. And continue to go build depth around. That's the problem with Miami for the past 10 years. We don't have any depth, bro. Too top heavy. So again, that's my blueprint, and I think we can have a quick turnaround. I really do, bro. And I mean turnaround as far as winning seven games, I think.
So I agree that Brandon Sheriff, he was on my list. I agree that with all of the stuff going on in Dallas, that the Cowboys probably won't be able to retain Byron Jones, and he is roughly around the same age as Xavier Howard. So bring him in, and that will solidify those two corner spots immediately on both sides. But my thought process would be to go still away from the quarterback spot in the first round, grab Chase Young, grab B.I. center, because if you get sure, then we good. And then because I don't have a problem with Davis at tackle, and I don't have a problem.
I don't either. I really don't either, bro. I think he can be serviceable.
Get Young, get Delpit, and then get Biotis at center, and that solidifies the offensive line, because then you got a veteran guard that's coming in to help the center, and then we will have a whole year in the system that he can help him as well come to fruition. You know what I mean? Come up to speed. You know what I mean? That interior core of the offensive line is solidified then. So, depending on what Prince, I mean, I like the boy Prince, man. I like what I saw. If he can keep that up for the next 12 games.
Absolutely, I agree. I forgot about Isaiah Prince. I'm hoping and praying he works out. And I'm gonna tell you another pickup too. Moving forward is Evan Boehm from Indianapolis, that guard they picked up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I am thoroughly impressed with him, bro.
Them boys moved some bodies on Sunday.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They was clearing up. They was plowing the road. So
technically, if they continue to gel and develop, we may not need to go get anything but a center, because Kilgore is the oldest cat on that unit, and then we can go heavy in the free agency, man. You go broke on Byron Jones, or you go in heavy to get Byron Jones, veteran corner, who is a top guy. I mean, he's a top corner in the league. And then Sheriffs, you know what I mean? And then depending on Evan Boeham's actually can play center. He can play center too.
Yeah, he can. You're right.
So then we good across the front. You feel me? And then
but you know what I would do? I would put this. I want to draft a center. I want to draft a young. When I know Boehm is young as well, but
no better than Biotis, man.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He can have that Travis Frederick type impact immediately on our line. And I would put, to be honest with you, I would put Dieter on the bench. He would be solid depth, and move Boehm to the left side, and then have Seraph sitting there, and then you can draft. Like I said, you can draft a tackle. I think that would be stout, bro. With Jesse Davis at the left side.
It's close. You had us, bro. You was this close.
What?
I was just thinking the same thing. I was actually.
Hey, you had me till you said bench.
Man, I was thinking the same thing. I was sitting here like, finally, EM Dolphins sound like he's human. And then you sat there and said, put Jesse Davis on the bench.
No,
Dieter.
No, I said Michael Dieter. I said Dieter.
Why are we moving Dieter back to the
not Jesse Davis. That's what I was talking about.
Why are we moving back to the bench when he's getting all this valuable experience?
Well, I'll say this. Okay, you absolutely right. Let me retract that. What I meant to say was, use this the rest of the year to evaluate them and have them go into camp. You know what I mean?
For the job.
Open competition and compete for it.
Okay,
that way, it's a win-win for everybody.
All right, I'm okay with that. But don't just send him to the bench because you got somebody else. No, we're not gonna do that. That kills the guy. That kills it. That kills him. You know what I mean? He done went out there and toughed it out with you as a rookie for 16 games, and then you're gonna turn around. Oh, we got a new toy now. So
we on the Mr. Ball Game, me and you on the same page. Great minds think alike. I don't know about TD though, but it's all good though. It's all good though.
I'll take that one, man. I'll take that one.
But yeah, absolutely, man. I don't think we'd have. I know it might look ugly. I know it looks ugly. Believe me. I'm still TD. You got a way out of Texas. You're not in Texas no more. I'm stuck here, and I gotta hear. I'm sorry.
You said what looks ugly?
Our team for the most part looks ugly now, and I know it looks ugly, and I think, to be honest with you, I think it's by design. I think this year is an extension of the preseason. They are just trying to figure out what assets that they can keep moving forward. And
here's what I think. My bad.
I think based on what we lost, what we shedded away in veteran contracts and things of that nature, I think we are in a very good place right now. These young guys, and I keep caution. I want people to understand this. These young guys are getting invaluable experience right now.
Absolutely.
For as much as it looks like chaos to really doesn't understand the X's and O's, to me, I see growth every week. I've seen growth from game 1 to game 4. I've seen our defense in first half of games hold people that should have been putting up crazy points, but they don't call the plays that put them out there on the field. They don't go vanilla. That's the defensive coordinator's fault. But aggressive in the first half, right? Back off in the second half. I don't understand that. That's
You know why? It's by design. It's by design, and they're not come out and saying we're going to tank, and they're not. The front office is tanked, not the coaches and players. Right. So what they're doing is like all of those exotic schemes that you see New England deploy every single week in certain situations, and that is what Brian Flores preached about when they first got hired. I remember one of his first interviews, he was talking about his defense, how he's going to take he's going to have his fingerprint all over it, and all the different types of schemes and personnel groupings that he talked about that he was going to implement when he got here. And you don't see any of that. You don't see it.
Hold on. That's not the first half of the last 2 games. We have been very intricate and we have been very detailed in what we ran against teams. That's what held those teams to no points scored. What changed, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why you would do this to your players. Why you don't run with this? Why you don't employ the same level of ferocity in the second half of the game?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, we
go completely vanilla.
Man, let me tell y'all something, man. It's been some suspect stuff that I've seen. Like I've been the hugest person saying that we're not tanking, we're just losing bad. But when I forgot which game it was, but when you got 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the halftime and you're on the 30-yard line and you don't even try to go get in field goal range, that's where I kind of like something ain't right here in this picture. Whose dogs are that?
That's the next door neighbor, bro. My bad.
They hear that stuff coming out your mouth. They don't like it.
No, they hear you. They hear that buffoonery. They don't like buffoonery here.
They know where the buffoonery is. They barking at buffoonery.
What you got, Insanity?
I'm a firm believer that with all the money that we have, we're going to use the money on the offense and then draft the defense. You kind of have to give Rosen some weapons, especially with his offensive line. There's going to be so many guys who can come out. The Redskins are in a very interesting situation because they're either letting go of Trent Williams or they're letting go of Schreff. So the Dolphins have a pick of one of those guys, and they're both very talented. So either way, you're getting an asset. I also was talking to somebody. It's very interesting that Melvin Gordon chose to come back this week out of all weeks to cut his, his holdout to come to Miami. Because remember, Miami was going to trade for him, but the Chargers were like, nah. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do in regards to Melvin Gordon next year in free agency. Do they go out and get him? How much is he trying to how much is he trying to acquire from us? And is he coming here just to be paid, or is he coming here to be paid and play? So that's going to be like an honest conversation they're going to have with that young man. As far as the draft, we need pass rushers, and we need to stay young on our defense. We do need a veteran presence, which I think Rashad Jones needs to become. I don't know if Bobby's still going to be here. He's still under contract. I know, TD, because you know I love me some Bobby. But as far as we need to address our safeties. Huh?
I'm talking about Rashard. You want to get him 19 million next year?
Listen, T, did I not say we need to address the safeties? I did follow up by saying we need to address our safeties. And we need to get another number 2 cornerback that can come up with X. Because X is very still young.
I think we can address the cornerback spot with Byron Jones, though. I don't think we have the money to pay them. So,
but
how much Byron Jones gonna cost?
Exactly.
My bad.
I don't think you have to give him. He ain't gonna be the highest paid.
He gonna get Howard money.
Right. You can afford to give him, 12 to 13 million. You can give him that.
Man, don't get me started. Howard shouldn't be getting Howard money. But anywho, man.
You need to stop hating on my boy like that, bro.
Come on, man.
I'll give you the business on that subject. Don't play with me on that. Don't even defend that man.
I have been very patient all night. Every time I talk, it's like boom.
Go ahead, Phins.
Go ahead.
We can play this. I will gladly become the moderator for all 3 of y'all.
No, go ahead.
My bad.
But back to my point. Can anyone tell me when the last time a quarterback drafted in the first round won a Super Bowl, started and won a Super Bowl? It doesn't have to be the first pick, but drafted in the first round, actually went to the Super Bowl, started and won it.
EM want to say Tua so bad.
Maybe.
Hey, I might be honest with y'all. I am impressed with that prospect. I am impressed with that. I am impressed with that prospect on and off the field. He's an impressive young man, and I just think, I would be totally on board with y'all if we didn't have all of these chips available to us. I would be all on board with y'all. Well, maybe not all on board, but I would somewhat be able to stomach y'all's opinion on this particular issue a little more. But we have 3 first-round picks, though. I mean, man. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phins.
The last quarterback, it was over 10 years ago. Joe Flacco was the last guy. Now, I want you to think about all the highly recruited, high-grade quarterbacks that have come out since Joe Flacco. And he was picked 18th. He wasn't even the first pick in that draft. Let's be honest.
Was Ben Roethlisberger picked before him? Did he go before him? Ben Roethlisberger was a first-round pick as well.
How long ago?
Okay. He might have been in that draft.
Okay, I'll give you that.
He was before that because I checked that out. He was before that. Yeah, he was before.
So make your point.
What I'm saying is that the Dolphins are in a very interesting position because as you were trying, to go to, we have the chance to put talent around a quarterback coming in. Most times when a guy is being drafted in the first round, most likely, if it's not a very late pick, the team is either average or just really bad. So now I would not be upset if we went and got a quarterback in the first round. I'm not saying, you guys know how I feel about Chase Young. I feel like we definitely need a pass rusher. Look at if the Bears had an average quarterback, we would be talking about them like, man, they're going to run this table. They're going to run through the NFC because no one can score on them. But they don't have an average quarterback that can get
Finsanity, real quick. Let me interject here for a moment. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. It's a great point. To rebut what TD was saying about his theory on you need to have a pass rusher, he would go with pass rush as opposed to taking a chance on a quarterback. Okay, they have the most I'll put it like this. They have the most dominant outside linebacker / defensive end in the game, period. Hands down. He's a generational talent. And let me ask you, TD, were the Bears in the Super Bowl last year?
Bro, why you asking me a question? She was making her point when she finished.
Very good point. And it seems like as I'm trying to get to the end finale, People are going back to a point that made 5 minutes ago.
But I think both of y'all are in concert on your opinion.
No, but you can't come up. Hold on, Fitzgerald. You can't come up with that conclusion unless you hear the entire argument. You got to hear exactly what she's saying and it's in totality before you can conclude that we're coming up with the same conclusion.
You're right.
You're listening to respond instead of listening to understand.
You go ahead, Fintanity. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll address that after you finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, as of right now, it seems like our defense is the more likely unit to carry us in the future than our offense. Our offense has a lot to catch up to get to where this defense is right now. So if we can get some valuable assets to take this defense over the top, we can bring in a guy that knows how to get a first down on third down. We don't need a guy that can just sling the ball down like 30 yards or 70 yards. What did Tom Brady do? Tom Brady was notorious for getting the first down. And if you want to take it to another sport, we can take it to Roger Federer. Roger Federer was known notoriously for just getting the ball back over the net. He didn't have to make, slams or big shots. He would let you make the mistakes. All we need is a quarterback that can get us a first down on third down. We need an offensive line that's not getting holding calls and false starts. We need some of my receivers that when the ball hits their hands, they catch it and they turn upfield. So when everybody is saying, oh, we need a quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, probably one of the best throws to date, won Super Bowl.
Okay.
Right? He didn't have a defense to just match his intensity. If we can get a balance, this defense is so close, and we all see it. We were holding the Cowboys. Now, granted, the Saints did it better and held them for 2 halves, but to hold the Cowboys to a half with Zeke and Amari and Dak and all those guys, albeit Gallup wasn't in there. But you talk about Jason Witten and those guys, and for that offensive line, that for our defense, to hold its own, our defensive line to hold its own against that offensive line, we're not talking about the high points. We're so busy looking at the low points that we're trying to argue ourselves into a quarterback when we need to argue ourselves into strengthening this defense, where we need to strengthen this defense and let this defense, is something that I've been on since the beginning of the season. Let this defense take us to where we need to go. Give me a quarterback and give me a first down. That's all I'm asking for.
Okay. You good? You good?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome
point. About to make me cry, man. Somebody.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right here with that.
Listen, I'm not here to. I've never said that you don't need a balanced team. Nobody ever said that. But you brought up the Chicago Bears, and I'm glad you did. They have that stellar defense sitting there. Okay. What is holding? They have weapons on all 3 levels of their offense. What are they lacking? They're lacking a playmaker at the most important position in all of sports. Just think if they had a Russell Wilson, if they had a Deshaun Watson, if they had a Patrick Mahomes, a Aaron Rodgers, a Ben Roethlisberger type talent on that team, this would not even be a conversation of who the best team in the league would be.
Bro, what team are you talking about?
I have a
the
question.
Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears.
Okay.
The Chicago they are a
Super Bowl on. It was so bad with Russell that they tried to give him a Super Bowl moment. Everybody and their mama knows that ball should have went to Marshawn Lynch, but because they were trying to get him a Super Bowl MVP, they said, no, listen, because I'm gonna go through every quarterback. You said Deshaun Watson, right? That was on the Bears picking up because Deshaun was in the same draft as Mitchell. But you know what? For all I know, Deshaun likes to throw the ball to DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know anybody on the Bears who is a DeAndre Hopkins. Now, granted, he's been killing me in fantasy because he has not shown up these last couple of weeks dealing with the injury. But let's be honest, he has some pieces around him, and he also had a running game last year in Lamar Miller.
Well, look at the run game. Look at the run game, and look at the run game that the Chicago Bears have. They have he wouldn't be throwing the ball 50 times to DeAndre Hopkins if he was on the Bears. They spread the ball around. They don't have that. They don't have that one guy like a DeAndre Hopkins or a Julio Jones or and they spread the ball around. But what I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying. If they had a playmaker at that position, where would they be? Can we all agree that they would be number one? Who would be them?
What makes you think? All I said, all you need, because you forget, as bad as Mitchell Trubisky is, they are a field goal away from advancing out the wild card round against the defending Super Bowl champ. And that was defense, and that was a special teams error like no other. Because he made it the first time, the double. So don't say you need a playmaker for that team to advance, because Mitchell Trubisky, as bad as he has been and is, because he's not living up to that number one pick, or was the number two pick he got, is not living up to it. But guess what? Even below average, they're still making the playoffs. So give me average.
So are we saying that our objective is to just get to the playoffs? Because you can do that with a game manager. You can do that with Ron Tannehill. You can do that with Josh about winning.
We haven't even done that.
A defense can carry you. A defense can carry you. Guess what? Carolina's defense got a real big wake up call, didn't they, in that Super Bowl? Because they thought they was big and bad. But guess what? All they did, the Carolina's defense wasn't even a factor. Broncos said our defense is going to be better. We're going to show you why we're the best. They made Cam Newton quit. I've never seen a QB quit in a Super Bowl. Quit.
I agree with you, but again, that was a historically, like I told TD last week, that was a historically great defense. How often do those defenses come along?
We can do that.
Can't hang your hat on that.
We can build that though. That's the whole point. I think what she's saying is we can build that, bro. We got
the year before. Sorry, baseball game.
Go ahead.
But Peyton Manning, the year before, had the best offense. It was like the Colts messed up, letting this guy go. Him, Demaryius Thomas, I think it was Julian Thomas, all them guys was just running. I think Sean Marino might have been on that team. Like, they had the best offense.
Mm-hmm.
That Super Bowl was at MetLife. I was going to go up there, but I said, man, I'm not going to go up there. The best offense got shut down. A defense can negate any offense. A great defense. That's my point to you. It don't matter how good your quarterback is, because Peyton Manning had record numbers that year, and everybody was like, Peyton Manning is going off on the sunset this year. He had to wait the next year. And what was the first thing Elway did? He said, I got to go to the defense. He didn't say, I need to grab more offensive talent. And then that offense was horrible next year because Peyton couldn't go lick.
Okay.
TD, hold on. TD, your battery.
I haven't even gotten to the playoffs. Come on.
Hey, guys. I think I'm getting an alert.
Battery flash.
Yeah, I think I'm getting an alert. That's good that it lasted an hour and 45 minutes, though. It looks like it might be cutting out pretty soon. I'm so sorry, y'all. We had this problem when we first started the stream, and we just turned up. We just got hype on this, man. I promise y'all this. I'll work on my other battery if it cuts out, and I'll see if I can get it back to do another stream. But if not, you know what happened. But we're going to continue. We're going to continue until the stream just shuts out, okay? I'm going to let it ride to that point. Hold on, guys. 1 second. My wife. Yeah, but
let me interject something. I'm not saying Mitchell Trubisky has been bad, but Mitchell Trubisky is also 2 years. Now this will now make his second year with a new offensive coordinator, that dude Heinrich. So for me, as a former coach, I know how long it takes for full continuity inside of a offense. And I think what we're seeing now is, unfortunately, he's hurt right now, but they didn't have a whole lot of time to actually gel with the guy. And I don't think the guy really understands what he's doing. I mean, I think the coach, the offensive coordinator for the Bears, is what's holding them back, truthfully, in my opinion. Just some of the play calling is suspect, especially with the players that they have up there. But I think the young assets that we have now, I don't know. Right? When you think about the players that we brought in, people are saying they're busts, especially the young guys like Harris and Taco and DJ. All those guys are first round picks for a reason. What's anyone's reasoning to say that with the right coaches around them, that those guys can't resurrect their careers and be that much better.
I'm starting to put that big B on Charles Harris's chest, bro.
Okay.
I was all for, I like Charles Harris. I like the selection when they got him, but man, bro, you got to give me something. I mean, getting washed out in the run game, at least set the edge. You know what I'm saying? Give me something that to justify you being on the field. But he is giving you Taco Charlton has came in 2 days, has given you more production in the run game and the pass game more than this dude is giving you in 2 years, bro.
I think, me personally, as a defensive coach, former defensive coach, I think Charles Harris has played out of position. Charles Harris is not in the dirt defensive end. Charles Harris is a strong side, or better yet, side linebacker.
But I would agree with you before this coaching staff.
They haven't played in there though.
Yeah, they got him, bro. They got him. I've seen several. Play. I watch every Dolphin game at least twice, and I go by play, and they have him standing up 80% of the time, bro. I've been giving Charles Harris a lot of passes for 2 years.
I've seen a lot of him.
But the talent is there. The talent is undeniable. But man, I don't know what it is.
Game break. I'm sorry. Finish your point, EM, and then we're gonna take a break.
Okay. The talent is undeniable, but it's like the elevator is not going all the way to the top, the way he can put everything together. He out there doing pass rush moves during run plays. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I just don't get it. And I like Charles here. I prayed he worked out. I said, man, I really do. When he came out of Missouri, I was all on board with him. But man, I'm sorry, man. At the end of the day, bro, we have to. You got to call a spade and call him out on his lack of production. To give you, nothing. He can't. Like I said, he at least get out there and set the edge, do something to justify you being on the field. But he ain't giving you nothing in the run game. He ain't giving you nothing, and he ain't giving you nothing in the passing game. No, man. I'm gonna give him to the rest of this year. I'm gonna give him to the rest of the year. But man, I'm starting to lose a lot of faith and confidence in that young man.
And that's fair as far as giving him the rest of the year. I was going to elaborate on something Phins said earlier, but before I do, I want to go ahead and handle this chat question because it came in the form of a donation. And on top of that, it's a good question. And shout out to you, Mike, who with the $5 donation. So Mike, who said free agency 2020. If you could sign 2 free agents this offseason, who and why? Also, cut 2 and keep 2 Dolphin players today. See you backstage soon. Excuse me. One love, Mike Phins. Well, if you want to start with this one, Phinsanity.
Okay. 2 free agents. Definitely I'm going to address the guard position. No matter where it comes from. I like Schreff, as everybody knows. We got to get some protection. If we're going to prioritize pass rush, we also have to understand that you need pass protection. And who else? Oh, Jesus. Well, I'm on Delpit, so I wouldn't say a cornerback. I don't know any too many safeties that are coming out.
Take Delpit. Delpit's a safety.
Yeah, but he's in the draft. He's not a free agent. So, off the top of my head, you know what? This is going to be a very unpopular pick. But guys, please do not kill me for this. No. Oh man! I'm gonna go safe. I'm not gonna say who I secretly want the Dolphins to get.
You say it. Say it.
Let's go it's too okay. I'll put it like this: it's too much red tape and too many warning signs with this player.
AB,
I'm off for talent, but I ain't say it. I ain't say it, TD.
Okay.
So, but
yeah, okay, yeah. Antonio Brown, huh?
Listen, I said Melvin Gordon. That's who I said. That's the name that came out of my mouth, Mr. Ballgame. I said Melvin Gordon, but would I be upset if we got AB? I would not be upset as long as we don't give him guaranteed money. That would be my stipulation on AB, which I know we're not going to get for that. But
he'll be 32.
Huh?
He'll be 32.
He'll still be good. I don't
know.
Now remember, the question is cut 2, keep 2.
Now cut 2. Who am I cutting on our roster? Ooh, that's a very early question to ask that. Because you have to think about contracts, salary caps. If we're not talking about those things like affecting us, oh man.
This should be easy, Phins.
You know what? Y'all gonna hate me for this, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry y'all gonna hate me for this.
Josh Rosen. No, I'm kidding.
Goodbye, Drake. And as much as I love you so much, I want you to know I love you. I love you so much, but bye, Bobby. But I love you. I'm gonna get your jersey, I promise. But Bobby and Drake go. If I'm gonna keep 2, I guess Isaiah Prince. I don't know if he's gonna be a free agent. And you know what? Let's.
Isaiah Prince is still on. Isaiah Prince is still on his contract.
He's still going to be on. Well, if we keeping 2, let's. I don't want to bank on Devontae anymore, so he can go. I'll take Devontae and keep Bobby.
Well, you do know he's our most productive receiver, right? You do know that, right?
Yes, I do know that.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure.
His availability. This is his first year being available.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. I respect that.
I think ball game froze on us.
Yeah, it looks like it. But somebody said cut row. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. 2019 Miami Miracle.
TD, take that text message off the screen. I can't see nothing, bro.
Man, you trying to look at yourself?
Lord. I can't get over these faces you making when I'm busting you up, bro.
Yeah,
that's the highlight of my night.
Outside, huh?
Go, Mr. Ballgame, go ahead, bro.
So if I 2 free agents, I'm going with Byron Jones and Sheriff, the right guard. If I had to cut 2, I'm cutting Fitzpatrick and Batamosi. And if I'm keeping 2, I'm keeping.
Man, Batamosi, really, Mr. Ballgame. I'm shocked you said that.
We got Walt Aiken. He's a special team dude. We got Walt Aiken.
Yeah, man. I think Batamosi has potential, man.
I like Walt Aiken. Walt Aiken been our special teams captain for the last 6 seasons for a reason.
I hear you.
And that's all Batamosi really played over there at Houston was team. So I mean, we don't need 2 of the same guy doing the same thing. So
that makes sense. I hear you. I get it.
And then who would I keep? Oh man. Whew. That's a tough one because I got affinity. I mean, I like all our young guys. So I would, you know what? I'll cut Kilgore. I'll cut Kilgore and keep Batamosi. And then I'm also going to keep, I think he still has a way to go in terms of the hard transition. I'm going to keep Gesicki and I'm going to keep Parker.
You good?
Parker? You keeping Parker? All right. What about you?
It's hard to find the body styles, man.
Bro, like I said earlier, we on the same page as far as Brandon Sheriff and Byron Jones is concerned. However, like I said, I talked about earlier, I am looking for a true nose tackle in free agency. And if I think Brandon Williams from Baltimore is a free agent this year, I think he would be an ideal scheme fit for what we want to do. And if it comes down between him and Byron Jones, I'm gonna lean more towards Brandon Williams because I think his presence in the middle of that defense, and you have Christian Williams on the one side, and you have Devon Gaucho on the other, bro. The running game stops right now. I promise you on that.
Hey,
No matter who. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
My only concern is though that we play multiple fronts though.
Well, yeah, he could again. He would only come in our base package, and when we're going nickel, you can have Gaucho and Christian Williams on the interior. For
So why couldn't we move in what that boy name M Kidije inside? Yeah, he 350, 320.
Who is that? Who is that?
Kidije.
Oh, right. Well, in an ideal situation, Robert Kimdichie is undersized. He's 290. He's not 350. He's not even 300 pounds. He's better suited at the three tech.
He lost that much weight in the last couple of weeks.
He ain't never been 300. He ain't never been 300 pounds. I don't think. Well, if he has been 300, he's been right at 300 and nothing more. But I think he's better suited, as a three tech, and on the ends as opposed to a nose.
Okay.
But again, if it comes down to, I love Byron. I like Byron Jones, and I really think him and X. If we get him, we have probably the best cornerback tandem in the league, hands down. I think. So, yeah, but man, that's a tough situation right there. But I would lean more towards Brandon Williams because, that dude he's a player that nobody talks about. I'm not saying he's Fletcher Cox or Aaron Donald or anybody like, but he is an outstanding player and he would fit exactly what we need. But as far as cutting key player, Charles Harris, you got to go, my friend. And it's hurting me to say it. It's killing me to say it. I done had many arguments with a lot of these foolish Dallas Cowboy fans here in Texas about Charles Harris. And now I'm eating a lot. I'm eating my words right now. He would be on the first train out of here. Him number one, and number two, man. Wow.
Huh?
You know something? Bobby McCain. Finsanity 5, I got to agree with you on that. Bobby McCain, because you know why? Because I think you can find his replacement in the draft easier than you can anyone else.
Okay.
Can I say something? Because like I said, there's a lot of red tape. We don't know what it would take, like what kind of cap hit we would take for Bobby. That's something we definitely have to look up. But they try to develop Bobby in a new position, and listen, TD will tell you I love Bobby probably more than Bobby loves himself. But I like Bobby because he's willing to go out and lay his body out on the line. But how much longer is that going to be sustainable? And that's why I'm saying it, because I've seen Bobby, get concussed because he's making up for somebody else's missed tackle, and he just goes head first into the guy. We need to go. That's the Raiders game for all those who don't remember last year. Go and check it out before Xavier and Howard gets the touch. I mean, the interception in the end zone. Just so you guys know. But that's why I'm saying Bobby, because Bobby is kind of like a train wreck waiting to happen. Like how much more wear and tear can his body take? And that's why you're seeing the injuries now. And he's playing out of position. So we have young guys and Wilton Mammons coming up that we can develop and maybe utilize them in the slot. Or if we go out and get, I guess you guys said Byron Jones or even Delpit. Bobby he's kind of like odd man out. If you really think about it. And he's being overpaid kind of in a way where he's at. If he says that he's underpaid, if he's in the slot, he's overpaid. So either way, contractually, you have to weigh your options. But like I said, I don't know his contract. I don't mess with nobody, and I don't mess with no man's money, dollars, and none of that. If Bobby's here next year, I'm gonna be happy. If he's not, I'll make my peace with it. That's basically all I'm saying.
Yeah, I was hoping so much for Bobby McCain this year, but I think number one, he's undersized, and he doesn't. If you look at him when he's playing back there, look at the big plays that happened in Baltimore. A lot of that had to do with him being out of position. missed tackles, taking bad angles. You know what I mean? He's just not a natural safety. You know, he's just not. He's a corner. He's a slot corner, is what he is, and he don't have safety in. See, people don't realize when you're going from position, people think it's easy, that transition going from one position into okay, well, I'm gonna take him from this position and put him in another one. Bro, it takes repetition to develop, though. A lot of, in particular, the safety position, that's an instinctual position. And how you develop that over time is through repetition. And he hasn't played that, to my knowledge. He's never played that position before. So it's hard for, you could say, in theory, you're like, okay, we could put him at the safety and he'll be good. But no, you see that experiment has failed drastically. So Bobby, I'm 100%. I'm 100% with you on Bobby McCain, and he's too expensive as well. Way too expensive.
The last regime paid him for what he had done and how they rated him out in terms of his play and slot corner. The new regime, I didn't agree with them. I didn't see the correlation of them moving him back to free safety when he was a nickel guy. So I can't argue. I can't argue that cut. You know what I mean? But I just think there's so many people that could be gone, and we probably won't miss them. But I think it's probably time to move on Bobby McCain.
Is it my turn?
You still here, bro? What?
I
didn't run you off. It's TD. I didn't run you off, bro.
Oh, wow.
I didn't run you off your own show. My bad. Okay. I'm glad you're still with us.
Bro, you got to have legs to run me off, but let's roll. All right, here we go. All right, so I don't even remember the question. The two free agents we'll pick up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number one free agent I will pick up is Brandon Sheriff, the offensive guard for the Redskins. I mean, I don't think you're going to get any better than that in free agency. No. You're not going to get a better guard than that, and he's elite, in my opinion. And he's an elite guard. And the Redskins are struggling right now. So I don't know if they're just going to re-sign him or what, but that would be my first priority in the draft. Number two, I'm torn between two players, and they're on the same team. Byron Jones is one. I know we need a cornerback opposite Xavier Howard.
Oh, you must be talking about Cooper.
Yes, I said Amari Cooper. I would actually go get Amari Cooper. I would. Because he is a good, sound, solid wide receiver who runs very good routes. He didn't have his best game last game, but he is a really good receiver. And he's not going to break the market, but he's going to get a respectable, really good contract. He's not gonna be $3 million more than what he should, but it's still gonna be a respectable contract, and you can feel like you got a good, reliable receiver to go with those other big guys.
I didn't even think about that, man. That's a good one.
Those are the two, huh?
No, sorry, I didn't. Go ahead, TD. I'm sorry.
There you go. Those are the two that I would start out with free agency. Now, it's a lot more I would go with in free agency. Let me just give y'all one more. I would actually take that center from the Raiders. Rodney, what's his name?
Rodney Hudson.
You're talking about Rodney Hudson.
I would take Hudson. Yeah, because he was on my list because I've been doing a list of free agents lately. Rodney Hudson. The problem is
he's a little long in the tooth, though.
Yes, but the level of play that he's been given, the only reason I wouldn't is because he's so good, he might actually reset the market again, being long at the two.
I think they extended him though, TD. I think didn't they extend him early? Not yet.
No, he's free agency as if I know right now. No, not he in the free agency, but he's about to. And I'll double check, but from last I knew, he's still going to be free next year. Okay. But forget that. All right, I already got my two. If I was to pick between Byron Jones and Cooper, I'm going to go Byron Jones because you got to lock that defense up. But Cooper is somebody because the Cowboys may not be able to keep Cooper when they pay that.
Hey, Hudson's gone, bro. He signed.
They got him? Oh, okay, never mind.
He signed an extension August 29th.
Yeah, I thought they extended him.
3 years. Yeah, 3 years.
Okay. All right. Well, enough for him. But Brandon Sheriff, you can't get better at the guard position. Okay.
No, you can't.
And I would probably go Byron Jones. All right. Now, what was the rest of it? 2 that we think that we let go.
Cut 2, keep 2.
Cut 2, keep 2. Woo. All right, let's cut first. Okay? The first cut that I would make on this team would be, man, I just changed my mind that quick. The first cut I'll make is Rashard Jones this year. Rashard Jones getting cut. I ain't paying that man $19 million. I don't care.
You know what I forgot about? Rashard Jones. Oh yeah, he would be number one. He would be number one.
About him too.
I ain't paying him no $19 million. I don't care if he go back to the Pro Bowl this year. It's a wrap. And I might as well tell you who I'm picking up anyway in the draft. Well, no, we ain't even talk about pick up. We talk about keep 2. All right, the second person that I would cut on this roster next year is Ryan Fitzpatrick. All right, so we're done.
That's a cop out. You already know Ryan ain't here next year. Come on, like at least we thought about some.
He got a 2-year deal. He got a 2-year deal.
Only one guaranteed. It was a cop out. It was a cop out. So I give you a second one. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
The second person that I would release on this roster,
Eric Rowe.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
that's a cop out. Come on. I made hard decisions, guys.
No, it wouldn't be Eric Rowe. It wouldn't be Eric Rowe. He just need to go where he belongs in depth. It wouldn't be Eric Rowe. He just need to be depth.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
My guy that I would be releasing is Albert Wilson. Albert Wilson.
So you think about the money. You're thinking about the money.
Albert Wilson gives me a little bit more incentive than the money availability. Right now we're playing with fire. I don't care if he finished the year strong. The combination of the risk and the money. Hold on, I just cut out. Let me
We can hear you.
Yeah, that's because my mic is on, but that's my expensive camera. I'm just gonna switch. I actually found a way where I don't have to end the stream. I'll just switch my camera to my laptop camera, which is not good quality, but y'all forgive me.
Yeah, I'm on my laptop too, so.
All right, that's my laptop quality. Y'all see I ain't bright and shiny no more, but that's all right. Now I'm on EM Dolphin level, but that's all right.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, Albert Wilson would have to go. Those two guys are it's a wrap. I can't do it anymore. Not because I don't like Albert Wilson. I love his game, but $11 million a cap hit and 10.89 something to be exact. I can't do it. Now, 2 players that I would keep for sure. Like, are we talking about guaranteed keep? Number 1 is Joshua.
Okay.
Number 1 is Joshua. All right. Mm-hmm. And number 2 player that I would definitely keep, Xavier Howard would be a cop out. So I'm not gonna say him. I
don't even know who's all up for free agency on our team.
Parker is, Drake is.
I thought Parker got a 2-year deal.
It's 1 year guarantee.
I'm keeping Devontae Parker, bro. That's too much. That's too much size and speed.
I'm just sifting through the defense to see if anybody
we don't know if these guys want to stay. Like
they ain't going nowhere.
There we go. That's the last guy.
Where's the last guy?
Hold on. This is the last guy I keep. It's the last guy I'll keep. Matt Hall.
Oh,
that's it.
Hey, come on.
What happened to you with Jason Sanders? You're not
the punter, bro.
Everybody else on the block. Everybody else can get it.
He'll keep the punter.
For the right price, everybody else can go.
The punter? Really? The punter?
Hey,
all right.
You know something? We need to start preparing ourselves because I have this funny feeling that if the price is right, I think Miami they would be more inclined to move off X this offseason, or even before the offseason. It's a lot of smoke that I've been seeing. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't want it. I don't want it to happen. But you got to look at it like this. Just like Laramie Tunsil, look at the age of those two players. He's 26. Laramie Tunsil was 26. So that's why I agreed, especially when it came with 2 first-round picks, to move away from Laramie Tunsil. First off, you can't turn that down with any player, number one, unless it's Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, somebody like that, a caliber player like that. But they're 26 years old. So if you look at this quote-unquote rebuild, in theory, at best, we want to be competitive in 3 years. They're gonna be they knocking on the door at 30. And so you know what happens, especially the corners, when they hit that 29, 28, 29, 30 threshold, it's downhill, baby.
Get better. Listen, keep Talib still playing.
Well, yeah, you're right. I give you that. But
listen, they're not trading. They're not trading Xavier Howard. There's too many reasons why they can't. Not that they won't. There's too many reasons they can't. Number one, you made him the highest paid cornerback, and other GMs don't see him as the highest paid cornerback. So first of all, who's going to give you an asset to take on a contract that they don't even agree with?
TD, what you fail to realize is how they strategically structured his contract. They front loaded it, so he's got a favorable after this year. He's got a favorable cap charge.
I realize that.
And they have after not this year, but the year after, they have an out clause that you would get minimal penalty if you move off of him. So but if you're a team in win now mode, Philadelphia, Baltimore, all of these teams that are a cornerback of his caliber in their eyes away from getting to where they need to get. But the thing is, if it's me, if they come knocking with a 1 and a 2, X-Man is on the first train out of South Beach.
Ain't nobody coming with the 1 and a 2 to pay a $17 million guy.
You're gonna have to, bro. He's a Pro Bowl, all pro corner. That's the going rate.
Bro, I know that, but it's a sham. Ain't nobody finna pay no 1 and 2 just to pay him $17 million, and he not even living up to the bill.
The bulk of his TD, what you're looking at, if somebody they have ample amount of cap space to where they can absorb his cap hit. All of his guaranteed money is front loaded. That's what I'm telling you. It's a favorable contract.
And you're trading away the front load.
Listen, here's what I believe. And I believe that since Greer came from the tree, and I know people don't like to make reference to the Patriots because we all hate the Patriots. But what the Patriots do have is they have a premier. Now, whether anybody agree with that or not,
I do.
Howard is our guy, and he's our guy that matches their guy there in New England. What that boy name is?
Stephon Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore, right? So the other pieces that we put, this defense is going to be constructed to look pretty much like what their defense is. It'll have a few wrinkles that are different, but overall, I think Xavier Howard is the last guy that's going to be leaving because they want that guy that they believe in, and he's still got some upside to him. I mean, I know TD don't really care all that much, but I do believe that the dude earned the contract that he got, and he'll earn.
I agree.
So he's a building block at 26. You know what I mean? It is what it is. He's a building block. He's not going nowhere.
Only reason why I say that, if he was 22, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Right.
If he was 22, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But he's 26. So, like I said, you want to be competitive. They're saying they want to be competitive in 3 years. Is he going to be that same building block caliber player at 30?
I don't believe it. Me personally, they said 3, but I don't see it. Listen, the progress that I've seen from game 1 to game 4, it convinces me really and truthfully that
Next year.
Next year, we competitive.
I agree. I'm on the same page with you.
So
I agree.
X is still in his prime.
I agree. But all I'm saying is, and also you have to consider how Brian Flores sees him. Because there's a lot of players who we was look at Minkah Fitzpatrick. Going into this year, he's a cornerstone. He's a building block. Obviously, Brian Flores didn't see it. He wasn't in love with Minkah as the previous administration was. Because if he
I
did,
don't understand why you would scoff at the idea that the guys they believe you had a unique skill set that you could play multiple positions for us, and then you only want to play one position. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, that's not the nature, because if you think about it, Hightower, all those boys up there, the system that it comes from, you have to be capable of doing multiple things.
Yeah, they're interchangeable. All of them are. Dante Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, all of them are. But Minkah,
all of them.
You know what I think, though, to be honest with you? I think Minkah, I think Minkah, I don't know, man. I just think there was a disconnect between him and Brian Flores. I agree.
He came out. No. He came out on the record. He came out on the record and said this had nothing to do with Brian Flores. He loved playing for Flores.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's playing that PR game. He's playing that PR game. But you know, I don't know.
They talked to him multiple times to get him to stay, though. Minkah wanted out. Minkah wasn't happy. It wasn't that the Dolphins weren't happy with Minkah. Minkah wasn't happy.
I think he had a birdie.
Him coming. I think him coming in. I don't think him coming from Alabama and that winning, him being accustomed to winning, him being here in Miami didn't sit well with him. His mom even went out there talking crazy.
I agree.
So
that was
all that balled up into one, kind of put him in a situation where he was like, you know what, this is get me out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And see, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phins.
Go ahead, sir. Because this is your point. Go ahead.
And also, I agree with that 100%. I just think it was a lot of things. I don't think it was just necessarily one thing. Sure. I think it was a lot of things, and I think, it was just a lot of things, and the price tag was too expensive to pass up. That's what I'm saying. Like with Xavier Howard as well. It's again, like I said with Tua, it's a lot of smoke around him. It's a lot of smoke surrounding the possibility that Xavier Howard could be dealt somewhere else. Now, again, price is right. They can get it.
If somebody come in with another ridiculous offer, you take it. But I just don't see anybody doing that.
But here's the thing: a lot of people forget Minkah wasn't our guy last year. It was the fact that Arizona traded up and took Josh Rosen, because Josh Rosen was going to be on our roster last year and developing through our system and competing with Tannehill.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, but go ahead.
Can I ever finish a point? Like, I don't interrupt y'all and I give y'all the floor. Can I ever just finish a point, please?
You right.
Literally.
I'm sorry.
Literally.
You want me to send you a donation? I'm sorry.
No, send TD a donation. Send TD.
I'll take it. There ain't no shame in my game. I'll take it, baby.
That's what I'm saying. Rosen was going to be our guy. Believe me, we were all sitting here thinking, how is Rosen going to fall to us? And then Arizona had to trade up in front of us with, I think, the 10th pick or something and go and get him. Right. So then we just took who we thought was the next best player on the board. That's all we did. Now, if you want to full circle this, Miami got the guy that they wanted, plus a pick for that guy, and let go of the guy they didn't even think they were going to have. So we are a lot better off from that draft than what we thought we were. I'm just saying. But as far as Minkah not wanting to be here, sometimes, you're in a situation where you're not happy. And if you have a chance to get out while you're young. If he doesn't want to waste his young years here trying to develop and learn this system and advance himself, because the fact that they were going to use him two ways, that's an immeasurable talent to have, because now you can go put on your resume, listen, I can play slot, I can play outside, and I can play safety. Where do you guys need me to play? Pay me for it. Now everybody's just going to see him as that safety, and that he's going to be a one-trick pony. And I haven't even seen him really shine. He did shine in the one game. I think he got an interception off of a tip or something. But other than that, we're not hearing Minka's name. Even against the Bengals, like the Bengals, and you ain't like really show out Minka. Good riddance, goodbye. Have a great life in the AFC North, because you got to see Baltimore twice, and I'm going to be looking forward to seeing him play safety with that defense and see, can we get a different result? Because if he can come out and show that maybe we should have played him a safety that game, then what's the name? But put up or shut up, Minka, at this point, because I had to get rid of my jersey, and I'm mad about it.
I agree. I mean, yeah. And again, I apologize for keep interrupting you. I'm sorry. But but yeah, I'm totally in agreement with you. But again, like I said, all I'm saying is it's a fire sale. I remember I remember when Omar Kelly said it was going to be a fire sale, and I was like, man, come on! At the beginning of the year, back in like March.
Omar, man, I met Omar before, man. Omar hated me, man. I'm sorry, man.
Why you say a hater? He demands a lot.
To some degree, man.
He a tour lover.
He'll never have anything positive to say.
He been dogging Rosen since day one. He been dogging Rosen since day one.
He'll never have anything positive to say, man. And
he just has.
I'm gonna catch him at the Redskins game. I'm gonna catch him. I already told him. I hit him in the email and I told him I was coming down with my wife for that game. Me and him gonna have some stuff to talk about face up. Like he it off, man. Like real talk.
Omar just has high expectations. He's demanding. He's demanding. He's demanding. And he has high expectations, and he holds people accountable. That's what we start doing.
He just want
on our train when we what's the name? When we was making a playoff push in 2016, he was still pessimistic. What are you talking about? He don't change his views for nobody.
Yeah, hey, for no reason.
Nobody, man. We can get to it, and then he'll start talking about how Tua was bad or how Tua was going to suck.
Hey.
That'll be the first thing he'll do.
So why? Because he told the truth on Ryan Tannehill, and he telling the truth on Josh Rosen. He a hater. Come on, man. Get out there. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that.
Talk about he told the truth.
I'm not trying to hear that.
Once again, you don't want to talk about how Ryan Tannehill and Rosen ain't got nothing around them. But if Tua come in, well, we need to do the right thing and get stuff around them. Okay. Once again,
7 years,
why we didn't do it? Why we didn't do what we needed to do for Ryan? That's my question.
Because again, bro. Again. TD, I know that hurts your feelings, bro.
It don't hurt my feelings. He's in a better place.
You off this Tannehill? I know you still sore that he's not with us anymore, but it'll be all right.
It don't bother me. I gotta move on, baby. So I'm good.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
No, I'm saying you ain't answer the question. You moving on. You deflecting the question to me.
Can I finish? If you would give me an opportunity, I will answer the question.
Let's go.
Okay. 7 years, bro. 7 years.
7 years what?
What do we give him to work with, though?
7 years. 7.
Okay.
And what? Two. He got 2 coaches fired, bro. 2 of them.
Hold on. Let me respond to that. So hold on. Exactly. And ain't them the same coaches that endorsed him? Anywho, listen. Let me respond to you, Em.
Hey, Joe Philbin didn't. Joe Philbin should have never been hired. Joe Philbin didn't. Joe
Philbin should have never been hired.
Hey, as much as y'all hate on Joe Philbin was the only one that told the truth on Ryan Tannehill. He said no. He got him for 1 year and said, "Oh no, what? I got to move off this cat," and they would not let him do it when he wanted to get Derek Carr. Fact.
Because he wanted his guy. You're sitting here admitting he had his guy pre-selected. So since he didn't have his guy, he didn't like the other one.
No, he knew what he had.
Either way. Let me respond to you though. Let me respond to that comment you made. You talk about 7 years. Mr. Ballgame asked you, what have they ever put around him? And your response was 7 years. You just like everybody.
Go ahead.
You just like everybody else that try to get on Ryan Tannehill. Y'all say 7 years. Y'all say 7 years, And I say, what have they done for him in 7 years? And you know what the answer is? 7 years. The 1 year out of those 7 years that they finally gave him an O-line, a decent defense, and weapons around him, that man went 8-3. That man went 8-3 before he got hurt.
You're a real funny man. You're a real funny man. I told you.
Well, you should be laughing a lot harder then.
Hey! I told y'all it's a blessing. I thank the Lord that I am on this panel because, like the statement I made earlier about the buffoonery stops now. When I'm on this panel, it stops now. I'm addressing all of these quote unquote Dolphin fans that are delusional. They are unrealistic. They don't know the game.
And just saying all that ain't making no points.
Start now.
Saying all that ain't making no points. We still ain't heard no point from you yet. We still ain't heard the answer yet.
I just had to get that out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but when can we get the answer out?
Okay, I'm coming with it.
Okay, I'm coming with it.
I don't want to get any older. Come on now. I mean, I'm not getting any.
Now, I will agree. Ryan Tannehill. I will agree. During Ryan Tannehill's 7 years he was our quarterback. They did not put him in the most advantageous of situations. I would agree with that. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But the thing is, this is what I keep why I'm making my argument with Tua, potentially Tua. And I could be everybody could be wrong on Tua. He could be the next Ryan Leaf coming up. But
not this dude again.
You cannot live in fear. In life, you cannot live in fear. You have to try. You have to take swings. You have to.
Let's move on from Tua, man. Come on, bro.
Hey, hold on. Did we actually get an answer about Tannehill yet?
Can I finish?
We get finish, man? Back all
I'm asking is, can I finish? Can I finish, please? So my point is, I'm tired of just getting a quarterback and the explanation to the justification why they didn't achieve what we expected of them was, well, we didn't have enough around them.
So let me ask you a question.
You said it earlier about Tua not having they need to do the right thing and put the stuff around them.
If I may finish, I want a player who elevates everybody. That's what I want. And that's what and again, to finish, that is the things. Those are the things the skill set highlighted earlier about Tua Tagovailoa.
Who is he elevating? Who is he elevating? You mean to tell me he elevated a 5-star receiver, a 5-star offensive line, a 5-star running back?
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this question.
Oh, they 5-1 now.
So the other guy,
TD, you about to have an aneurysm over there. You need to settle down, man.
So the other guy that came out that had a grade, that was a generational talent. He retired here recently, right?
Who was Mr. Luck?
He was ready. Everybody said he was ready. Andrew Luck didn't elevate anyone around him because they didn't have any pieces around him until they solidified that O-line and then they started getting better. That's true. He got killed, man. I remember watching those games, man. I was sorry for that dude. I don't even like the coach, but I felt sorry as a fan of the game watching Andrew Luck go out there and take those beatings and wondering to myself, why could these professionals that are in management not protect the asset?
Agreed.
Agreed. And when that dude said he was retiring, I had no qualms with that because I watched him. I sat with my sons and watched Andrew Luck get pummeled in games.
That's the point.
So listen, man, let me ask you the question. Right now, where we stand right now, we spent a second and a fifth on a guy that can get the job done.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Well, we will. By the end of the season, we will.
Okay.
And then
the only way
he just
with
don't
this
like
argument,
Josh, man.
the only way
right now. He just don't like Josh.
No, it's not that I don't like him, bro. I'm just telling you. I see a lot of Ryan Cat.
To be fair to EM Dolphin, Mr. Ball Game, it may not be that he don't like Josh. He's just in love with Tua.
Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna be on. Hey, here's the thing.
What it is.
Here's the thing.
Got a man crush on Tua.
No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway,
you might say, bro.
No. Hey, look. Check this out. Look, man, it's not that I dislike Josh Rosen. I would love for him to turn out to be the guy. That way, we don't have to invest other resources in that position. That's perfect. But what I'm saying is, and again, Tua is not my guy, bro. He is I'm going off of multiple reports that stated he is Miami's target. And all I'm saying is, obviously, they are moving heaven and earth to try to get him. I would say this: a quarterback. But I think it's Tua Tagovailoa. I could be right. But you don't move heaven and earth, bro, to get a defensive end.
No, you move heaven and earth to get assets.
No, you move heaven and earth to target a generational.
Multiple.
Do you see? Look at what they did for Carson Wentz. Look at what they did for Jared Goff. Look at what they did for Patrick Mahomes. Look at what they did for Deshaun Watson. They identified a asset. They identified a target who they had an extremely favorable evaluation on, and they said, "Look, we're picking here, but we're gonna do everything in our power to go up and secure that asset." And I'm telling you, bro, if you think Miami is moving heaven and earth to get Chase Young, you're delusion. You're fooling yourself, and you need to get over it. You're fooling yourself, and you need to get over it.
EM, did the Carolina Panthers identify Cam Newton as their target?
Yes, absolutely.
And what happened?
They were picking number one in the draft. They picked.
And what happened? And so I'm going along with your point here. They identify, because you want to name people who aren't even proven yet because they're not even off their rookie contract making the big dollars. Now let's talk about the people who went through what you're saying.
What's your point?
If you let me finish, I can make it.
Go ahead.
I can make it.
Without you having go ahead.
I'll try my best, because I promise this is wild to me. You literally just sat here and named 3 quarterbacks on a rookie deal still. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Now, right now, they're getting paid peanuts compared to what they're going to be doing 2 years or 1 year from now, when they can't afford all them weapons around them to really get a gauge of who they are. So they are null and void to me, because we don't know what they are until they're in an average situation in the NFL. Now, let's talk about the people. Let's talk about the people who actually been through the scenario that you're mentioning. Cam Newton was identified as a talent.
Okay, what's your point?
Hold on. That meets the same criteria that you just named. Now, today in the NFL, the team don't even know if they want Cam Newton anymore.
Because he's banged up. He's hurt.
Call it what you want. It ain't just because he hurt. He ain't been the same since his rookie deal. Cam Newton ain't played at the same high level since his rookie deal.
You do realize he won the MVP, right? You do realize that, right?
He ain't played the same since he was off of his rookie deal.
You said, I thought you said rookie season. I'm sorry.
You heard what I said. You heard exactly what I said. Okay, we're going to start with him. RG3, was he something that they identified?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's up with him right now? See, you're making, my point is, you're making an argument for guys that ain't even off of their rookie deal to know they're real, how good they really are. Because you're trying to make it seem like they hit on their pick. We don't know if they hit on their pick yet.
So you mean to tell me you're gonna sit here and live in fear?
No. I'm not gonna live in fear.
Hey, did RG3 stop Philadelphia from moving heaven and earth to get Carson Wentz? Did that stop Kansas City from moving up to get that asset that they value? Patrick Mahomes?
I never.
Texas?
Oh my God.
Did that stop them?
I never said anything about living in fear. The point that I am trying to make to you here is you're already solidifying all of those guys as if they are top tier quarterbacks in this NFL, like they actually found the answer for their team.
Patrick Mahomes is not a top tier quarterback.
You're missing my point, man.
Mahomes, I'm asking you. You just said I'm naming quarterbacks that hadn't proven himself. Patrick Mahomes hadn't proven himself.
No, he ain't proven himself. Do you know what it takes to prove yourself? It ain't. It's
right.
Patrick Mahomes is doing exactly what Tua is doing, playing with all these weapons, putting up the maximum amount of numbers because he can afford the luxury to. Because he got nothing.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Do me a favor.
Please let me finish.
Go ahead.
Please let me finish.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
To help you out, let's play hypothetical for a second, bro. If what's his name? Patrick Mahomes was coming off of his rookie deal today, and this man got $40 million, and they had to get rid of two of them offensive linemen. They had to get rid of one of them top flight receivers, and he starts looking just like Joe Flacco. And I ain't talking about the best of Joe Flacco. He started looking like the middle of the pack quarterback. First of all, I'm not blaming him as if it's his fault. He has a decrease in weapons around him. But you're going to sit here and make it seem like he's the proven guy because he was in a perfect situation. Don't get me wrong. I actually admire Patrick Mahomes. I think he is an elite player. In other words, I'm hoping he's going to turn out to be. But I cannot make that conclusion until he's in the same scenario as half of the league when they ain't got all the talent on the team. Can we please wait to evaluate these guys when they offer their rookie deal and they take money out of the team's pockets? Because we didn't wait. We didn't wait with Cam Newton. We didn't wait with RG3. And look where that got us. We didn't wait with all of these guys, and that ain't it. We didn't wait with Kaepernick. We didn't wait with these guys. We praised them on the numbers they put up as a rookie, making less than $1 million a year, like your boy Russell Wilson. He's still a good quarterback. But is he going to be the same quarterback he was when he won a Super Bowl? With less weapons around him and a less defense around him?
He's
not going to be.
That's a bad example. He's been better.
Bro, no. If we want to go off of how y'all be talking, all that matters is what are you doing in the playoffs, quarterback? Okay. If we going off of what y'all talking about, he ain't been better.
Okay,
he sure ain't been better.
You good? You made your point. You done?
That's my point.
Okay, do me a favor tomorrow. The first thing you do when you get up, you need to go down to the local, some kind of hospital, something to have yourself drug tested. Number one, you need to do that first and foremost, because I've been telling you, I don't know if it's something you own or you just delusional. One of the two. I have no idea. But like I said before, the buffoonery stops now. So I'm gonna address what you just said about Patrick Mahomes not proving himself. He had the over 5,000 yards, bro.
Please, can you tell me anything other 5,050? 5,050. Can you tell me anything other 5,050?
Okay. Over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns. His team was in the AFC Championship game in his second year. Okay. And you mean to tell me that's not enough? Who else has done that in the history of the game besides Dan Marino and Tom Brady?
Who else has had what he's had? That's the point. Who else has had what he's had? You can't
fault TD. You're knocking the man for being blessed to be on a talent-laden team.
For the life of me, I keep telling you, it's not his fault. I'm not getting on him about it. That ain't the point I'm making. What I am saying to you is we won't really know how he can handle himself until he doesn't have that scenario. Because 3 years from now, he doesn't have that scenario and he doesn't play well, then what are you going to say?
Okay, I ask you this. Look at what a quote-unquote, to quote Finsanity from earlier, we just need a game manager type, a person that just moves the chains type of quarterback they had one, and he was in the Pro Bowl. And Alex Smith, look at what that offense looked like when he was when he was running it, and look at it now. And you mean to tell me you sitting up here telling the world with a straight face that dude has not proven himself?
Hey,
oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
That's
Alex Smith lost Mark Charles year after year in the playoffs. So like, come on, he lost a lot of it. I remember one game, Kansas City was up so big, and then everybody just started getting injured. So don't go there. Like, if you're gonna talk about everything, talk about everything. Secondly, Alex Smith, he's a game manager. Yeah, he did what he had to do. But at the end of the day, when you come up against Tom Brady and some of these guys, that's why you need that guy. That's why you trade up for Patrick Mahomes. That's why you need Kevin Nerf.
I got it now. No, I got it now. I got it now. You see, your problem, EM, is you don't want to answer questions. You just want to keep making your point. You failed to answer the question. No. You didn't answer my question. I asked you one question and you went on this other tangent just to bypass it because you ain't got an answer. I asked you if Patrick Mahomes comes off his rookie deal and just hypothetically say in 2 years, I asked you. Oh, well, look at you. You're doing it again.
I am not into woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda. All I know is that man what he's doing.
Hold on for a second. Hold on. You just said that you're not in a woulda, coulda, shoulda, but I've already given you an example of it happening with these other guys. I have already given you examples with these other guys.
Did it happen with Patrick Mahomes? We're talking about Patrick Mahomes here. Did it happen with Patrick Mahomes?
All I'm asking you, if it does, then what are you going to say? How are you going to don somebody already proven? But if it happens to him, you don't care. You don't want to care. You don't want to listen. You don't want to listen, bro.
I hear you. All I'm saying is, if it happens to Patrick Mahomes, I will say.
Let me get that answer.
I will say the man is underperforming. Period. Anybody. That applies to anybody, not just him.
So at that point he's underperforming.
Yeah, absolutely. He would be there, just like I'm giving him high praise now.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't be because he don't have the same weapons around him. It wouldn't be because of that, right?
No,
it'll be on him.
Hey, TD, my argument is not against your theory about what he has around him. I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is, an elite talent like that can elevate and take your offense to another level, bro. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? I get it.
Can I address?
No, hang on. Let me finish. Patrick Mahomes has a special skill set that when you look, Alex Smith was a multiple Pro Bowl quarterback in the Pro Bowl every year, and you saw what their offense looked like. But when you take him out and you insert a talent like Patrick Mahomes, the ceiling goes up exponentially, and you see the dividends that it's paying now when they move heaven and earth to get him. And this all I'm saying is, if Miami, what did I say in the beginning? If Miami has that kind of evaluation on Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, or whoever, they are going to move. They are moving. They've moved heaven and earth to put themselves in a position to select that elite talent. And all I'm saying is, an elite talent like that can move your ceiling higher exponentially. Period. That's all I'm saying.
If Patrick Mahomes was the Miami Dolphin, we'd be 3-1 right now. That's basically what you're telling me.
Yeah, I'm telling you that. Yes, I am.
No way. No.
Okay, can I address my point? Can I address my point?
Let me say it again. Hang on 1 second. TD need to get out of what he need to stop with the hypotheticals and deal with reality. That's what he needs to do. But go ahead.
He's saying if we got Patrick Mahomes, we'll be 3-1 right now. Behind this offensive line.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
I would say we would have beaten Dallas, and we would have.
Don't backtrack.
We would have beaten Dallas. We would have beaten Dallas. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so to Jay Orion, I do not agree with everything TD says, because you should see some of me and TD's conversations outside of these live chats. Thank you for your comment, though. I want to address you because me and TD will go head to head and butt heads before we get here. Now,
she always wrong, though. She always wrong.
But what I did say was that if you have an elite defense, Because, see, I don't think Kansas City's defense was elite with Alex Smith. And neither is it. Because, see, people want to take parts of my points and then just throw it out there. That's all I'm addressing. I said if you have an elite defense, a very great defense with an average, game manager quarterback, you could do it. How about we go back to Brady's first string? How about we go back to Brady's first string before he became elite? No. Because listen, I sit here and I let y'all talk and I laugh on mute so I don't interrupt you guys. So please allow me to what's the name? So when you bring up Alex Smith, he never had an elite defense that was basically stopping everybody.
Patrick Mahomes, they defense is
and that's why they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. Facts.
Oh, okay, but did they get to the AFC Championship?
And that's why they didn't make it to the Super Bowl.
Did they get to the AFC Championship game?
They look average against the Detroit Lions. We ain't talking about the Bears. We talking about Detroit.
Hey, well, listen here. Hey, I think you need to start giving Detroit a little more credit than what you think.
First of all, I'm gonna tell you. First of all, anyone will tell you I'll give just due where it deserves. I have Matthew Stafford as my quarterback in fantasy, so don't tell me I don't give Detroit their just due. But what I'm saying is the way you're so high on Mahomes, guys can sometimes come back to earth when they don't have, what's the guy's name? Tyreek Hill out there running past everybody, and you can just throw it down the field 70 yards if you want to.
Tyreek Hill hadn't played at all this year.
When guys are doubling Travis Kelce, and now you're relying on these rookie guys. So
Tyreek Hill hadn't played all year.
Tyreek has played this year.
No, he hadn't. He's been hurt. He's been on the shelf all year.
No, he hasn't. Tyreek has put in time.
He got hurt in the Jacksonville game.
In the first game, so he has played. Like.
Okay, the first game. Okay, but go ahead.
This man said that we'd be 3-1 with Patrick Mahomes, and I need to get drug tested.
I said we would have beat Dallas. I said Dallas. We would have beaten Dallas.
You said we would be 3-1 if we had Patrick Mahomes, and I need to be drug tested.
I think Finsanity was speaking. Go ahead.
This is beyond me how I always get interrupted. But at the end of the day, what we're saying is Travis Kelce was getting doubled, and now they had to rely on these young guys, and they didn't show up. Patrick Mahomes was out there slinging. He ran. He was doing his thing, and he still got the win. Kudos to him. But how did he really look when he didn't have, Damian Williams out there balling and McCoy not out there balling all the way for him? Like, what we're saying is take away some of that. And then who is he? Tom Brady is elevating above not having everything that he needs. That's elite. That's elite. That's the end that you need to if you want to put Patrick Mahomes there. That no matter who's on that.
You do realize that they put up 34 points with all of those things that you just highlighted, right? There was no Tyreek Hill. They took away Damian Williams.
How many touchdowns did the man throw?
Huh?
How many touchdowns did the man throw?
The objective
I'm pretty sure Bucker balled the hell out in fantasy because he was getting field goals after field goals after field goals. That's what kept them in that game. And truth be told, they were out there making mistakes on offense. Detroit was like, come on, dude. Like, stop interrupting me because I give you the same respect. The only thing I'm asking for is listen. As soon as I make a point, you want to clash right into it. Let me get to my point before you keep intersecting it, and then maybe you'll understand what I'm saying. Because for the most part, when I've gotten to my point, most of y'all have agreed with what I was saying, but since you're so quick to hop in like double dutch, you're not letting the whole scheme play out. I'm trying to give you the scheme, and you out here trying to intercept it before the ball gets thrown in the air. How can you do that?
So, okay, well, am I the only one that's doing that? Why are you singling me out? TD interrupt you. Mr. Bargate didn't interrupt you. Why you singling me out?
You're doing it every single time I open my mouth, bro.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing it every time. I've done it a few times, just as many as the other two guys that's on the
run this tape back.
And then
whose turn is it?
It's EM's or Mr. Ballgame's. Because it's beyond me.
Are you done, Finsanity? Are you done with your point?
I'm done for the night. Because at this point, if I can't get my point across without being interrupted, I'm done for the night.
Well, that's on you. That's on you. I can't control you. That's unfortunate.
Finsanity, if you want to finish your point, go ahead and finish your point. Everybody else, we need to allow her to finish her point 100% through, man.
Yeah, I'm good. Because at the end of the day, I can get somewhere, and then as soon as I start to make sense, someone tries to push me back 5 yards, and I'm trying to.
Okay.
Don't let it stop you though. Go roll out. Go roll out. Don't finish because other people want to hear the point.
EM, the one thing I like and I admire about EM is that when he has a point and he really truly believes in something, he's going to fight that point to the end of time. And I definitely respect that. You stand, you're steadfast in your points. You definitely have information to back it up. The only thing I ask for is let me finish what I'm trying to say. I'm never saying someone is wrong because I value everyone's opinions and what they have to say. I may not be on the same wave with you on it, but I do understand that there are certain truths behind everyone's statement. And what I like to do is I like to put it all together with what where we're trying to get. But only thing I try to do is when people come and address a point that I've made, I'm going to go back and make sure you get the whole thing and put what I said in a whole context. Because I always say something with a context behind it. I never just say something. There's always a context or a stipulation behind everything I say. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you, dog. I respect that. I respect that 100%. I respect that.
I apologize for cutting you off at any point during the night stream. That's not generally my intention. This guy makes me he makes me get beside myself, and I do things I wouldn't normally do. So I'm sorry.
What guy are you referring
You,
to?
man, you.
Oh yeah, it's like that. Oh, it's like that.
I'm just playing. But I am sincerely sorry. I know we need to. This is the first time we've actually been. Second time, but we're working on our etiquette. So I'll be better. Be better going forward. I like to think that I really do like to think that we're all kind of in the same. We're all in the same room, but I just for me as a fan of the team and as someone with the coaching background, I think to myself, assets over individuals all the time, and get the quarterback should be something that we do. I just don't think we should squander. I mean, I wouldn't say squander, but use all of the assets that we've acquired just to go up and get one guy. I just can't. That don't sit well with me when we got the holes. So unless we kill free agency, and dominate free agency above and beyond the other 31 teams, then okay. But that doesn't happen, and we can't get the guys that we really truly want. Then we got to use them assets, young guys, man, guys that can come in from day one and get ready. You know what I mean, and be ready to start after that 6-week training camp. You know what I'm saying, and keep this thing going because that's the only options we got. But giving up 2 picks, giving up 2 picks to move up to one. If we're not one to get a guy when that can fill a hole somewhere else, that's just not something that I would do. I don't think that's a good look for us because then that kind of puts us back into mode of grabbing. That reminds me of a Deion Jordan type of thing. You see what I'm saying?
Go ahead, bro.
We moved all the way up to go get Deion Jordan, and that never panned out.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm in. And again, Finsanity, I'm sorry, darling. It's all good. Much love. I got nothing but love for you, Mr. Ballgame. I'm with you on not trade. I never said we should trade up for anybody. If you recall, let's get that straight now. Because I don't want all these. I don't want these people in the comment section. I don't want y'all putting that. Misquote me on something, and these fools in the comment section start going crazy.
Not number one. If we're not number one, how are we gonna get him?
That's what I'm saying. I said if and only if we are picking number one. Okay, that's the only way. Okay. I say that we should. So, and before I get to that, TD, you wrong for that, bro. You misquoted me. Take that off that screen. Really, bro? It's like that? You need to take that off the screen right now. But anyway, yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I never said trade up for give away assets. Absolutely not. No, don't give up anything. But that's why, in my opinion, why they're trying they're not trying 100% from a scheme standpoint to win, trying to ensure themselves the security of that number one pick so they can draft that quarterback in that way. They don't have to give up assets to move up and get.
I think we're looking to ensure a top 5 pick.
No, that's for sure. They didn't have to, bro. They didn't have to move heaven.
A lot of pressure.
They didn't have to move Laramie Thompson for that. They didn't have to move Kenny Stills for that. They was going to be in a picking in the top 5 regardless. But they want to get that number one pick because they know everybody else covets this prospect the way, for the most part, the way that they do. And I'm telling you, bro, y'all need to stop with all this hate that y'all putting out in the universe about this young player, and he ain't even on the team yet. He could be everything we've ever wanted since Dan Marino. And y'all already all of this. Y'all are already spewing all this foolishness. All of this foolishness out in the universe about this prospect, and you need to be ashamed of yourself. You really do.
Josh. So why you not embracing Josh?
Who said I didn't embrace him? I said he needed to start from day one so we could see what we have in him.
And he's out there with limited assets, and I think in the past 2 games, he ain't been the reason he ain't won the games. You know what I mean? Bigger sample size to see going forward too. But what did I say? Remember what I said? We had this initial conversation. I said that's why Josh Rosen needs to be brought back. If you select a quarterback number 1, have him have a true competition. Give it to him, bro. Yeah. If you are that guy, don't be scared of competition. So why not Herbert then?
I'm saying Herbert too. They could covet Herbert. This could all be a smokescreen about Tua. I'm just saying.
What about Jalen Hurts? Because he out there putting up.
It could be Jalen Hurts as well. But all I'm saying is, whoever they select, bring them in. Yeah. It's an insurance policy, and have them have a true competition. You have all the asset, and see this way you can conduct an accurate evaluation of both of them because they have assets around them to help them.
I believe they will draft a quarterback. I just don't believe it'll be one in the first round.
TD need to stop, bro. Really, bro. Okay, it's all good though. You misquoted me. And my name is not EM Dolphins, it's EM Dolphin fan. Look at you. You can't even spell, bro.
Hey, if I misquoted you, why don't you clear it up for the people right now?
I said they would have beaten Dallas. I said they were beating the Dallas Cowboys, is what I said.
I asked you a question. I said, will we be 3-1 if Mahomes is our quarterback? Can somebody tell me what this man said?
Yeah.
Hey, hang on. I only said that.
Yeah.
I only said that because I wanted to see you have an aneurysm. I love those faces you've been making.
I like how you back off of stuff. I just only said that because, man, listen, live by your words, bro. Live by your words.
Look. And if you go, at least if you're gonna put it up there, at least spell my name right. EM Dolphin fan, not EM Dolphins. I don't know where y'all getting this EM Dolphin from. It's EM Dolphin fan.
Don't worry, I got you.
At least if you're gonna put it up there, make it correct, bro.
I'm gonna make it as correct as possible.
But we for the most part we on the same page. You know what I mean? We're on the same page. We just different on a few on a few players, evaluations on a few players.
You like down there in the bottom of the page all by yourself, and we up there in the top in the border. I mean, in the top part. Like we over here, like saying like we need assets. You saying we missing a generation. We need to run after this quarterback though. Like, and
how did I say? When did I ever say we don't need assets? That's why I said if we had one pick in the first round, one pick in the second round, one pick in the third round, I would be more in agreement with y'all. But you have 13 picks. You got the best, according to in a lot of NFL circles, the best college talent evaluator, Marvin Allen, in the game. You got Reggie McKenzie. You got Chris Greer. You got 13 picks, bro. You have if Jeff Ireland was still in the front office, I would say, oh man, I would kind of back off of that. If Jeff Ireland was still sitting up there running everything, but he's not here anymore. He's not here anymore. Mike Tannenbaum is not here anymore. So give these guys a chance to do what they're paid to do.
Hey man,
So if
two are going to Cincinnati, bro. We take Chase Young, man, is our guy, man.
so let me ask you this: what if he turn? What y'all are so worried about whiffing and missing on a prospect like Tua? What if, hypothetically speaking, we select Chase Young and he turned out to be the second coming of Deion Jordan? I'm sure TD said when we selected him in that draft, I'm sure
Deion Jordan don't look like Chase Young.
Hang on. I'm sure TD said he was the second coming of Jason Taylor. I'm sure of it. I didn't know the young man then, but I'm sure he said that. I'm sure.
Who?
Now I know. I never liked Deion Jordan coming out of Oregon. I hate that.
Yeah. It's easy for you to say that now. But I didn't know y'all then, and I'm not going. I can't sit up and say definitively. Yeah, y'all.
I spent 26. Hey, I spent 26 years on the West Coast watching Oregon football. So I said from the get-go that Deion Jordan was not our guy. We shouldn't have ever went after him. So I don't know about anybody else.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
In your evaluation of the two players at that position that are projected to get picked in the top 10, him and AJ Espinosa, is that in your evaluation of both of them, is there a big drop off between those two?
No, not really, but I just like the fact that Espinosa, AJ, he was a backup, man, until the guy in front of him got hurt and he came on late in the season last year. So his body of work is not as extensive as Young. Chase Young got highlights all the way back to his sophomore year, whole year, killing it.
So
there's a larger film. There's a larger amount of film to watch on Chase Young than there is on Espinosa.
I get that. I respect that. But I ask you this: in your evaluation of both of them, if there's not that much of a drop off,
you take either one
between Chase Young and AJ Espinosa, but you have a extremely favorable grade on Tua compared to the next guy, and from what I'm hearing, it's like night and day. So why wouldn't you? So if you have, so why would you? So why wouldn't you select that asset that you have an extremely favorable grade on, and you can get it with your second first round pick that's projected to be in the top 6, top 8? I mean, it's a crapshoot. We don't know how the draft board is going to fall, but you can, with the draft, it's all about projections. So you can project and get him at your second first round pick. Why not secure that talent that you had such a favorable valuation on compared to a talent that there was, the difference between him and the other player is minuscule? I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me. That's what I mean by buffoonery. That's what I mean by when I make the statement, the buffoonery ends. That makes no sense to me to do that. And I'm telling you, they're moving. Again, I say again, they have moved heaven and earth for a reason. It is not to get no Chase Young, bro. I'm telling you, it's to secure that quarterback that they feel is generational. And y'all need
bro, they not moving heaven and earth for a reason. They moved heaven and earth because an idiot Houston Texans gave up heaven and earth.
I think
what are you talking about?
I think in my personal opinion, now again, I'm no insider. I'm just going by how things folded and from me on the outside looking in, how everything unfolded. I think they had Laramie Tunsil on the trade block from day one, and they were trying to amass the most amount of assets. The only thing changed was that Chris Greer put a ski mask on and ran up in the Houston Texas front office and put a 9mm to his head and got that second round pick. That's the only thing.
He didn't have to. They walked in and put their wallet right on the table in front of him.
Exactly. And on top of that, 3 months ago, Greer said everybody on the trading block for the right price.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's how I think it unfolded. I think he was on the block. He was on the block, bro, for all of and they were fielding offers and they waited and he played it to a T. You got to get a man his credit.
I agree. I do agree though, because I don't know if you remember, but Remember a month and a half ago, I said that Tunsil was on the trade block and he could be traded. What everybody said to me.
Not me, bro. I don't remember, but not me. I just thought it was very, about considering how Flores and them, they're all about, repetition. And you got your prize asset in a new system, and he's not playing, and he's not hurt. He's not banged up or anything. That's what raised suspicion for me. And I was like, something just ain't right with Tonto. I don't know if he hurt or they not letting everybody know or what. Something is
the thing is there are already a lot of teams inquiring about him.
Absolutely, yeah. And they knew it, and they just wanted to protect. They just wanted to make sure he didn't get hurt on their watch. And look, now he hurt.
You know a guy we ain't talked about yet though?
Who was that?
Taylor.
Who was that?
The running back in Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
You think that we're going to get him running back in the draft?
They went to go watch him. 3 of our people went up there to go watch that game.
Yeah, I think they was looking at that center as well.
They had 3. They had the running back. They had the running back scout, the O-line scout, and the linebacker scout. So you got to remember that's where Dieter came from, Wisconsin.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, here. I don't want to be argumentative with TD. TD, you my boy, man. I got much love for you, bro.
Man, I'm always good with Tua agent, man.
Hey, but here's my argument when I make with people when they're criticizing Tua for having an abundance amount of talent around him. Hang on. No, hang on. Let me finish. I'm going to address Taylor in a minute. People are so critical of him for having what he has around him. But you look at a guy like Taylor. The Wisconsin Badgers, bro, they are notorious for having a top flight offensive line year after year after year. Look at the backs that have come out of that program. But that's not contributing to his success. But you blame Tua and you knock Tua for having that, but you praise him. It makes no sense to me.
I watched Taylor last weekend against Michigan get hit in the backfield as soon as the ball touched his hand, shrug the guy off, run around the outside edge because the offensive line went a completely opposite way, and he basically split the safety and the corner and was gone for 84 yards.
I am not knocking that young man's talent. He looks highly impressive. All I'm saying is, can we keep it all the way funky? Can we be objective when we're evaluating these players? If you're gonna criticize one and take away from somebody else's game for the same reasons as you evaluate another process, just treat them fairly. If you're gonna take away, if you're gonna knock Tua's evaluation because of what he has around him, why are you praising this dude? And every year they have a top 5 offensive line in the nation every year. Yeah. So all I'm saying is to be fair. Be fair. That's all I'm saying. Be fair.
I get it now, EM. I just think that you keep on missing my point. I keep on saying that I'm not knocking Tua. Tua is a great talent. Tua might end up the greatest of all time. I don't know how many times I have to say that I'm not knocking Tua. Just because there are circumstances and situations I haven't seen him in, and I wonder how he's going to look in those situations. Because the only sample size that I've seen him in those situations, he hasn't looked great. Just because I say that, why does that have to mean that I'm knocking him? I keep saying that Tua I like his arm. I like his footwork. I like his, I just like him as a football player. I do. But again, I'm just concerned that none of that
if they take him,
these defensive ends come get him.
But again, no. Okay, I get it. I hear what you're saying. But all I'm saying is you can only evaluate them for what they have done, where they are, and what they have done. That's it. Any player that's at this stage making that next leap to the big leagues. That's all you can do. So when you what I want to hear from fans when they're comparing this particular prospect to a Tagovailoa, I'm not saying the only thing, but the majority of complaints about them is what? Oh, he's playing with great talent. He's supposed to do that. But then you get Chase Young, Ohio State. They got blue chip players up and down that defensive line year after year after year. You're not taking away from his game. You're not saying the same thing about him. You're not saying the same thing about this kid Taylor, bro. That's all I'm saying is evaluate them objectively and fairly. I know y'all
but is that fair? Is that fair to the quarterback who could be just as good, but he don't have what Tua has around him? Is it fair to him?
You talking about that's college quarterbacks that's at college now, or what? You mean
I'm really trying to get to the NFL. Same thing as Josh Rosen. How can you give a fair evaluation if he ain't got the same thing for you to see if he can do the same thing?
That and there is some validity to that argument. There is, but all I'm saying is it goes back to what I said about the Kansas City Chiefs example I used. You had a proven quarterback. You had a Pro Bowl level caliber quarterback in Alex Smith. You saw what that team looked like. You saw what that offense looked like. But when you insert a special talent with his skill set in that exact same environment, this ceiling goes through the roof, bro. That's all I'm saying. And all I'm saying is the comparison with Tua and Josh Rosen. I think, in my opinion, and I could be totally wrong, and I will go if Tua turned out to bust out, I would tell you, oh man, you don't know how disappointed. Well, I'm not gonna say that now because we haven't selected him yet. But if we select him and he turned out to be a bust, oh my God,
I'm gonna ride you like Seabiscuit.
Oh well, yeah, and you know what? And I'll sit here and take it. I ain't gonna say a word. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, hey, y'all was right. But all I'm saying is Tua has an elite level skill set that you don't see that comes in a total package that you don't see come along. But so often, it's a reason why all of these individuals are so high on him. I watched a video, dude, of a credentialed individual, and this dude, he was watching film and so giddy about what he was seeing. It was like you would think he was talking about his own son, bro. And he said, "I'm telling you, man." And TD, I'm gonna send you. I meant to send it to you. I meant to send it to you the other day, but I forgot about it. But I'm gonna send you this video. And he was so giddy about this film session, and he's an NFL insider, and he was so giddy about this dude's film. Now, again, he highlighted his holes as well. There's no perfect prospect. There's no perfect prospect in the NFL. You just had. And when he was breaking down this man's film, he was so giddy about what he was saying. I'm telling you, you would think he was talking about his own son, bro. And I mean, he is privy to, from the system that he's in. He's already running pro style. He's already in a pro style system. He's already in a West Coast based systems that's running NFL concepts. He's just going down, checking box, check all the boxes that you need in your evaluation process. You're checking them, check.
So it goes back though, Em, to my point. If Tua was on the Miami Dolphins team right now, would we be 3-1?
No, we would have beat Dallas. I believe that. But you can't. But TD, you got to consider, bro. You can't sit up here and say that and use that for your argument for Rosen because they're gonna bring help. Help is coming. They're going to surround them with assets, whether it's Rosen.
So can we? That's the point. So why would we be moving hell and earth to go get Tua when Rosen can be the answer?
This is why I'm telling you. This is why you have an insurance policy, bro. If you and again, it goes back to the evaluation, that number that they have on this prospect.
I'm with that. I'm with the insurance policy. I'm with that.
If you have that, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they should get rid of Josh Rosen. Bring him in, keep him, bring him back, and secure that asset only if you don't have to give up anything to get him. Bring him in and have him have a true quarterback competition and surround both. I should say not surround one, but surround both of them. Bring in those assets to help ensure you get an accurate evaluation of both assets. That's all I'm saying. That it's a win-win as long as you don't have to give up assets to secure him. That's it. I don't get why that's so asinine to people. I don't understand that. You are
No,
covering.
that's not asinine. That's not asinine.
You're covering yourself. You're covering yourself. And then if Josh Rosen balls out and turns out to be the man, you got that asset sitting right there on the bench. You can say, well, look, okay, just like they shop Laramie Tunsil, just like they shop Kenny Stills, like they shop in Xavier Howard, you can do the exact same for that asset. Trust me.
Here's the problem with that in some cases. Oh, did you want to say something, Fitzanity? Well, I think she muted. This is the problem I think we have with that, EM. Here's the thing. So we don't know if Rosen is the guy. I'm gonna go off of everything you just said, okay? I'm gonna walk down that same rule you just delivered to us because I get it, and I'm not opposed to the insurance. I'm all for that, right? But if you exactly, that's what I'm about to get at. If you might have your guy Rosen, but we don't know, so it's good to have insurance. But in other positions on the team, you ain't even got the first option. You don't even have the first option. Why are they going to get quarterback insurance instead of the actual first option at other positions?
Well, it goes back to like Mr. Ballgame and I were talking about earlier. It depends on another thing that's come. What people are not thinking about is the other evaluation of the evaluation of what they have with other players at different positions. If you feel that you can get a comparable player, see, this is what I'm saying, TD. It's only because it depends on that evaluation they have on that prospect. If they think he is what everybody is, if they believe that he is everything what everybody's projecting him to be, that all I'm saying is if it's that much of a difference between him and the next prospect, if it's night and day, and you get AJ Espinosa and Chase Young sitting there, I'm just using defensive end as an example, and the evaluation is minuscule, you go with that talent that you have the favorable grade on. That's common sense. And again, only if you don't have to give up additional assets to get him, especially if you're sitting at number 1 overall.
Cincinnati going to be number 1 overall.
They could be. If that happens, then this is a moot point. If that happens, this is a moot point. But in the event that Miami secures that number 1 draft pick, they secure that pick. I'm telling you, man, if they have that kind of evaluation on Tua or anybody, Justin Herbert or whoever they have, if they have that kind of evaluation on, there is no way you pass up that all you can go by is your evaluation. That's all you can do.
No, but my point is, what if they have the same evaluation of Tua as Chase Young? Just asking.
Well, in my humble opinion, you go with the quarterback. In my opinion,
yeah, but we just outlined the fact that you already got a potential guy, and then but at the defensive end position, you don't have the guy. That's like a legitimate empty. But at the quarterback, at least you already got something. You're bringing in competition. You mean to tell me you would still go quarterback and pass up on the guy that can guarantee be plugged in?
But that's what I'm telling you, the TD. There is no guarantee. I don't understand.
There's no guarantee both ways, but you still have a bigger need at that position.
So we can agree that
same evaluation, right?
Okay.
Same evaluation.
Miami has a grade on Josh Rosen. Obviously, they have a grade on him, right? Okay. So when the quarterback competition started, when they in OTAs, okay, they had an evaluation on him. Mm-hmm. When they gave out and Fitzpatrick won the job, okay, what were they talking about what were his issues? They highlighted his deficiencies, right? And those are and apparently in my opinion, now I haven't had a chocolate bar before, as I don't know the man from a hole in the wall, but all I'm saying is the areas that he's deficient in are the areas that Miami values the most. Processing, reading the intermediate area of the field. Sure, he can throw a deep ball. He can flash every now and then. Ryan Tannehill flashed, but can he do it consistently? I just don't.
Yeah.
Hang on. Hang on. I just don't think he can. But I think, that specific skill set that Tua has, those are strengths for him. Now I get he's on the college level, but again, though, and I know we differ on the competition level in the SEC. I personally think the SEC is the closest thing to the NFL. But where he at this stage, those are strengths to him, and so in his skill set, to go with the athleticism, to go with he's already a pro style offense. Those are things that you don't have to devote resources on correcting this prospect when he comes into the league. He's already. I'm not saying he's a finished product.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But he has 2 or 3 steps already into the game.
I'm with you on that. So let me make this last little piece that I'm trying to get an answer from you on. Last time I'm gonna say something about this. Okay, so when you talk about grades and stuff, I'm still going down. I'm following your path with you, by the way. I'm making it as if what you're saying is what I'm a roll with. So here's my confusion. If they have, just say on a scale of 1 to 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm kind of hearing. Say they have an evaluation of Tua as a perfect 10, right?
Right.
And they have Josh Rosen as an 8, just hypothetically, right?
Right.
But they have Chase Young at a 10, and our current defense man outside of Charles Harris is a 2. And then you went on to say, but it depends on what they value. Yeah, they value the attributes that Tua has over Josh Rosen, maybe, but they also value all the attributes that Chase Young has over Charles Harris, especially since our biggest gap right now on our team is not being able to even cause pressure on the opposing quarterback. And that's even more important right now for the team. You mean to tell me you number 1 overall pick, you still go into him? All things being even.
Well, another thing as well, TD, that you didn't highlight on is the philosophy of, and I'm not saying we're a carbon copy. Before everybody start commenting with can we not compare ourselves to the New England Patriots? I hate that comment. Do you not want to win? When people make comments like that, I want to be compared to them. But anyway, that's a whole nother issue. But anyway, you got to consider where they come from. Okay. The New England Patriots, and again, I'm not saying he's Bill Belichick, but again, there are, just from a schematic standpoint, you see the way they handle their roster. There's a lot of similarities between us and the New England Patriots. So with that being said, I'm more inclined to believe, and I could be totally wrong, but I'm more inclined to believe how they select talent, where they select talent, is going to be a lot like what they do in New England. With that being said,
that means we're not getting a quarterback in the first round.
We're definitely not taking a quarterback.
Well, they never had to. They struck gold, bro. They struck gold. Trust me. If Tom Brady was not on that roster, they would have, and they didn't have a quarterback, they would have been drafted in the first round. Trust me on that. But anyway,
and they still draft quarterbacks, but not in the first round.
Okay, my point is, you don't see them generally select. Well, I know you're arguing to be, well, they ain't never picking in the top 5, and I get that, I understand that. But you see, they find the majority of their talent in later rounds. And what did Flores and Patrick Graham talk about the most when in their introduction press conferences, when they addressed the lack of pass rush that we had? What did they say? Well, we don't necessarily don't rely on one individual to get to the quarterback. It's more of a team and scheme based attack that we deploy within our defense. Did they not say that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm more inclined, and I could be totally wrong. You could be right. They could be targeting Chase Young. They could. But I'm more inclined to believe, based on where he comes from, based on the things that they said, and from a philosophical standpoint, I think they are more. They not going to. I don't think they. If it came down to a quarterback or another prospect like defensive end or running back like your guy Taylor, I don't think that they would invest those high picks on that particular position. Now I could be totally wrong, but I'm just thinking the best determination of behavior is past behavior. So again, with that being said, where he came from, do you see the similarities? You know, Ray Charles could see the similarities already. So that's all I'm saying. So, but again, it's projections. It's my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but I just don't think so at this point.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, man, I mean, I think we all can agree with one thing: time will tell.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. We'll all know that time will tell. I know. Listen, man. First of all, this has been a great conversation. I know it's gotten up and down, heated, passionate, all kind of stuff. And honestly, this is going to be our typical Tuesday panels, and we're gonna learn how to work together even better and making sure that we're being more respectful of each other's voice and time. That starts with me first of all, and controlling it myself. But I want to apologize to all three of you all by not doing the best job I could to control it because I let myself get into it as well. But we'll get better and better on this show. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. We're going to go through because it is getting late. We're going to get final thoughts from each and every individual on the panel. We're going to start with Phins Sanity. Final thoughts about today's stream. And what do you look forward to going forward? She muted.
There we go. Okay. Great discussion, guys. Everyone had amazing points. This is why I was so forward and excited to being here today. My parents will tell you, you know, I've been very anxious and, you know, ready to go all day. Guys, just keep the same energy. Keep doing your research. Obviously, you guys, you know, study and, you know, come with great points and things that the fans want to talk about. One thing I loved seeing was that everyone said that they loved all the content that we talked about tonight, and that's what we want to do is give these the fans, give the fans this. To everyone who wanted to join the stream, make sure you come in on Friday because that's when TD's going to have an open one. I don't know which of us are going to be on here with you guys, but we all know everybody's opinion is always evaluated. Everyone's opinion is always valued on TD Phins Talk. Last point, I'm a defensive person, so I'm always going to preach building up this defense. It's going to ruffle, you know, some people's feathers because they like the offense and they like the scoring of it. But, you know, I had a blast watching last year's Super Bowl because I admired how both defenses played. To Mr. Ball Game, EM, and TD, next Tuesday, make sure we bring this every single week for these amazing fans and amazing people in the chat. Thank you guys for staying on here with us for 3 hours. That is a long time to block off your night for 3 hours, and we greatly appreciate it. It is, you know, it is so important that you guys understand how much, you know, we love you guys and we love doing this for you. So let's just keep it going. From Jersey, I hope I did everybody from Jersey justice. See you guys next Tuesday.
MetLife Takeover. Stick around for a little Finsanity. EM, it's your turn.
Yeah, man. I just want to piggyback off what Miss Finsanity 5 just alluded to. And yeah, man, all of y'all, it's much respect. You know, I know I get a little animated and I'm passionate about my team, bro. You know, I'm here to help. You know what I'm saying? I want the buffoonery to end. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do everything in my power to address that and to bring facts and put that truth out there and silence all of these part-time fans. That's a real passion with mine. I mean, man. But anyway, that'll be another show for another day. But, you know, much respect, TD. Much respect, Mr. Ballgame. Much respect, Miss Finsanity. Yeah, I'm just honored, and it's a privilege to be here to talk about our squad on this stream, and I'm just looking forward to it, baby. I'm just looking forward to it.
Appreciate it, EM. Next time, hopefully you can get a win over me, man. All right, Mr. Ball Game, what you got, man? What you got?
Hey, man, I just want to thank you for doing this. For one, I'm battling a cold right now, but nevertheless, I love the angles that and opinions that both the other the other panel guests bring to the table. Phins, I think it's amazing. Everything that you say is backed up with actual factual statistics, and that's I'm a numbers guy. We could talk for hours and for days about numbers and stats and stuff, and be locked in. TD, you know I love your passion, bro. So that's bar none. And EM, I'm gonna get you right, man. We gotta get you a new love. We gotta get you a new man crush, bro. Because you know, it is what it is.
I hear
But
you.
I just want everyone in the chat to for this upcoming run after the bye week, take a look at the true progression of the guys that are out there on the field. I mean, and remember the last game, which was this Chargers game. Yes, we lost, but there were some great things that happened in that game. And moving forward, note the changes, aggression, and the changes associated with the schemes that we run. And that'll tell you a lot about which direction we're going and what we may possibly look to target also in the off season. But it's a lot. I want to caution and remind people that when you bring in a whole new regime, both sides of the ball, it's a lot. It takes a lot for that to gel. It's a lot for that to give you the product on Sundays that we all want. It's a painful process because we're so passionate about our team. But at the same time, I think it's a necessary one because we've never, ever done this before. Not like this, not to this level. So be patient with it. Support who we have in place and believe in the process. I think it's going to be, I believe 100% that it's going to be beneficial for us way above and beyond what any of us expect later down the line. And I think we're going to compete sooner than later. Next year, I think we'll be in a position to be back in the talks of playoff positioning. And we'll be a stronger unit for all the experience that these guys are getting this year. That's my only thing. I hate seeing comments in the section. I mean, in the chat section about guys bashing the guys that we have when they're the foundation of what we're gonna build on going forward. You know what I mean? And some of them won't stay, obviously, but the core group, and I think we can identify who those guys are. You gotta love them now because I mean, you either love them now or you will fall in love with them later and then have to retract your statements. Just believe in the process and just look for the experience and the advancement of our guys in this scheme, this new scheme that they're undertaking. And that's all I got, man. Fins up.
Awesome, awesome, man. Guys, first and foremost, I want to thank my panel guests. As always, Finsanity 5, as always, amazing job tonight. Mr. Ball Game, amazing job. EM Dolphins, amazing job. I do want to say I love how Finsanity, like Mr. Ball Game said, always brings data to always support all the facts that she brings to the table. And that's what I'm talking about, man. An educated conversation. Mr. Ball Game, you can tell he knows his stuff through and throughout. And it's always some new good perspectives as well. And EM Dolphin, he knows what he's talking about as well. And what I love the most about EM Dolphin is it's a different way of looking at things. It's a different opinion than one that I have. And I don't want a panel full of people who just agree and agree and agree. I want people who have independent opinions, who back them up and have passion to believe in it and can go the distance toe to toe to support what they believe in, regardless of how tough, regardless of how nasty, regardless of how gritty, regardless of how loud it gets, regardless if I beat EM Dolphin fan night, that doesn't matter. You know, I'll just mess with you. But yeah, man, that's what I love about this panel, guys. And I can't look forward to us coming back together next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Hopefully I don't have any camera issues for that one. But this is amazing. This has been another amazing show. And to all of our subscribers that's been tuning in, I think the most that we had was about 160. Another great night, another successful night. I hope y'all hit that like button because I haven't even looked at the like button. That's the least y'all can do on your way out, by the way. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. Y'all make this show. Y'all make it what it is. We appreciate K Flexing coming through, spending some time with us tonight, and all the mods. Shout out to the mod squad. And somebody said I blocked them. I haven't blocked anyone. I haven't even really looked at the chat tonight. If I missed your donation in the chat section, please forgive me. I have a different view. Every time I do a panel show, I am on a whole different platform, so I don't have the same view. So I don't see all the donations, but when I see it small, I'll bring it over and show. But thank everybody who donates to this channel, show their love and their support. A lot of you have donated via PayPal, told me you appreciate what I do, and here's $2, here's $5. Trust me, those things add up, and it definitely helps the channel. So thank everybody for showing your love in that regards, because we want to do bigger and better things. And a few announcements, guys. I have some things working for Thanksgiving that I'm going to be bringing forward, and it's going to be a community event where I am going to try to speak to some of the mods about seeing if they want to participate as well. And not right now, not until I have it together. You'll be able to donate to those community events during the Thanksgiving time, given to those who are not as fortunate or blessed as we are, even though everyone is blessed in this world. So if you want to participate in those type of things, all the proceeds, not 10%, not 90%, 100% of the proceeds that you all donate will be going to help others during the holidays for things that they don't have that we're blessed enough to have. So we'll talk more about that. So be on the lookout for that if you want to help in those areas. And it's going to be TD Gives Back. That is what it's going to be called, TD Gives Back. So I hope I have a lot of support from my Dolphin family in that regards, because we want to do things bigger and better. It's not about ourselves. It's not about getting on camera, being the man or being the woman or whatever it may be. It's about looking out for humanity, our fellow brother and our fellow sister, because that's what God did for us. All right. Now, guys, don't forget, I started my morning show as well. Wake Up with TD. It is 6:30 a.m. every single morning till 8 a.m. Today was our first show. It was an amazing show. I really enjoyed it. I hope you all join me tomorrow morning. I'm gonna get better sleep tonight. Last night I got 3 hours of sleep before I woke up for the show. Tonight I'm gonna try my best to at least get 6 hours right after I end this stream. But I hope y'all tune in the morning. And then we have a midday show around 1:30 to 3:30. Between that block, we'll have a midday show. And tomorrow night, we will not be having a show on TD Phins Talk, but it'll be on my family channel, Down with the Dows. Well, me and my wife, we have to decide in the morning what we're going to be cooking, because it's going to be cooking with Down with the Dows, okay? So we're going to be cooking something. Y'all can tune in with us going live. We're going to have some fun doing that. But every morning, check me out on Down with the Dows. Don't forget to, TD Phins Talk, Wake Up with TD. But don't forget to check me out on Twitter at TD Phins Talk. Instagram is TD Phins Talk. And Facebook is TD Phins Talk as well. Guys, we're on a mission right now. I am trying to accomplish 6,500 subscribers within the next 12 days. If you want to help me out, get to that point, I am calling on all of the subscribers. A lot of people say, hey, I don't have money to donate. I wish I could. And I always tell you, you don't need to donate to this channel. If you can, I appreciate it. And if you can't, you can do things by helping this channel by sharing the link. After these videos post, all you got to do is go to the video and hit that share button, copy the link. Go to Facebook, post it on your page, or just find a random Dolphins fan page, post it on there. Post it on Instagram, post it on Twitter, post it on Facebook, wherever you see fit. Let your friends and family members know about the channel, because we're growing, building a big community. And the larger this community is, it's not about, oh, we get more money. No, the larger this community is, the more impact we can have on those who can't help themselves. So, guys, thank you for tuning in to TD Phins Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Again, Finsanity5. Again, Mr. Ball Game K. Again, EM Dolphins. Shout out to the panel, man. Y'all are amazing. Sometimes I just get caught up listening to y'all because y'all are the best, man. I love y'all. Thank y'all for doing this for me. Not me doing this for y'all. Thank y'all for doing this for me, man. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. To everybody else, it's your boy TD. This is TD Phins Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. And we're going to give y'all a big, you know what? Peace. Love y'all, man.
All right, brother.
All right.
Hey.
Man, it ain't let me in the stream. I guess we gonna ride out for 3 more hours. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm out, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.